Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. If you can hear me good in the chat, do hit DJ, type DJ Torch, just so I know what's up. We about to get this party started real soon. We about to get this party started real soon. We got a lot to go over tonight. A lot. All right. In the house. Gemini in the house. Act natural under pressure in the house. Jenny B in the house. Majestic 88 in the house. Mika in the house. Just ask Char in the house. Tomas. Turn some volume up here so I can hear what I'm doing. Oh yeah.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and Kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and Kettle says, bitch, I might be. Says, nuck if you buck, then says, wipe me down. Kettle says, yes, my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and Kettle says, hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right, all right. On the ones and twos, this is DJ Torch coming straight at you right here at DJ Torch Live. Like to kick out some shout outs in the house. Mercy Me. Mercy, mercy me. TK is in the house. Just Char's in the house. Majestic's in the house. Tomas is in the house. We're about to get this going right here. Check out this. Check out this right here.
A Nazi admirer crashing near the White House with a U-Haul. What was going on here? We do have more information on it. The man using a U-Haul truck tried to attack the White House. Let's give you the reporting from NBC News.
This morning, new details surrounding the 19-year-old suspect who police say intentionally crashed a U-Haul truck into barriers just a few hundred feet from the White House Monday night. Cy Varshith Kendula of Chesterfield, Missouri, has been federally charged with depredation of U.S. property. Secret Service and Park Police listing additional charges related to his arrest, including threatening to kill, kidnap, or inflict harm on a president, vice president, or a family member, as well as assault with a dangerous weapon, reckless driving, destruction of federal property, and trespassing. The charging documents saying the driver embraced Nazi ideology, detailing that Kendula had removed a Nazi flag from the truck after the crash, telling agents he bought the flag online, and saying, quote, Nazis have a great history, and describing Hitler as a, quote, strong leader.
I heard this.
So this is pretty simple. You know who else loves Hitler?
Mm-hmm. Tell us.
I don't even have to say anything. Y'all know.
So can you help me understand how the people that he would have exterminated have fallen in love with him?
Right. This is how damaged we can be. Now, this guy here, not the guy on the screen, but let me go forward here. You can tell he's not black. Neither is this guy. So this is the deal. See, black men that are out there, you want black women to support you, but then you support somebody like this, who, if given by that ideology, given the chance, they're going to eat you alive. Just
Like cannibals.
as a public announcement, Hitler didn't like black people.
Nor
So
Middle
if you
Eastern.
like Hitler, then how can you love yourself?
They don't.
Let's play a little bit more of this.
Destruction of federal property, and trespassing. The charging documents saying the driver embraced Nazi ideology, detailing that Kendula had removed a Nazi flag from the truck after the crash, telling agents he bought the flag online, and saying, quote, Nazis have a great history, and describing Hitler as a, quote, strong leader.
I heard this loud bang, and I looked behind, and there was this huge U-Haul truck just out of nowhere.
According to the criminal complaint, Kendula told Secret Service agents his intent was to, quote, kill the president, and her.
Now, even You know what's funny to me and ironic is that even Caucasian people are going, what in the hell is wrong with that nut job?
Well, they're saying that about anybody who isn't Caucasian that's aligning themselves with this ideology.
Right.
Because it goes against their own best interests. And so it's as if they're saying that they don't want to be alive. They're saying that they want to be sacrificial lambs. So they're saying that if there's a real purge, I want to go first. Like, take me out first.
Right. Basically, Camo says, yeah, white supremacy has gotten colorful. It sure has. It sure has. I mean, it's crazy. In the house, I'm inspired to. In the house, Mercy Me. In the house, Kitten in Caskets. In the house, Bridget Mouton. In the house, Jenny B. Man, yeah. I'm just showing you, you know something? I am not trying to tell you guys anything. I am just showing you what's up. This is your hero right here. This is your hero. He goes back 20 years loving Hitler. Loving the very man who would escort him into a gas chamber. It's so funny how black men, we can think, it's called denial. Remember, I did a live on denial. Do you really think that man wouldn't have escorted you in there along with the Jewish people back then?
Come on now.
I mean, come on, but you love this man. You love you some Ye, who settled on the name Ye because it wasn't a good move to call himself Hitler. He wanted to call himself Hitler. Read about it. Do not take my word for it. Read.
But you know what it kind of reminds me of? This thought process reminds me of that Anton Daniels clip where he said that black women were more of an enemy than white supremacy. So he too,
right.
we can presume that he too is a Hitler lover.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most red pill men are Hitler lovers. They love themselves, you know. What's that dude's name who was on dang, I can't believe I can't remember his name. But they love him black men love bigotry and racism as much or more than Caucasian people, and I'll tell you why. Because by the red pill theory, by what they were fed, by what we were fed by red pill theory, it will get us, being in denial will allow you to think things are going to happen when they're not. So what they think is that white supremacy is going to get them control over black women. The small caveat they missed is that if they are successful on getting more white supremacy in the United States, that's going to work against them a little bit too. Because brothers, I want you to check your skin, but there's a reason why they call it white supremacy. You ain't going to be supreme. Was Jim Crow the good times for black men?
I think it was, because they keep referring back to it to a time that they idolized. So I think, I think they really believed that it was a really good time for them.
Yeah, I guess it was between the lynchings and getting their families bombed. You know, yeah, it was all good. It was all good.
Mercy Me said, next, some of these dudes will start shouting out Willie Lynch or Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to keep this going. We're going to keep it going right now. This is kind of sad. I don't know if you guys seen this yet, but here we go.
And we start with new details in the investigation into the weekend murder of a Chicago police officer.
Nate Rogers is live in Avalon Park with the very latest for us. Nate?
Yeah, that's right. Anthony and Natalie. Fox 32 has confirmed with sources that multiple persons of interest are being questioned right now by Chicago detectives in this case. Take a look at your screen. The city releasing the officer's police photo about 2 hours ago, also officially determining her death as in the line of duty. A 3-year veteran of the department assigned to the 5th District on 111th. Now, she was on track to receive her master's from Loyola University later this week. SWAT teams were seen last night at 76 and Bishop after a man barricaded himself inside a home there. Sources telling Fox 32 he's among the persons of interest being questioned in this case. 24-year-old Ariana Preston was killed right in front of her own home overnight Saturday after just getting off of work, according to police. Multiple sources saying it was a robbery attempt. After police arrived on scene, Preston was laying in the ground. A fellow officer, in fact, transported her body to UFC, where she was pronounced dead. We spoke to Preston's neighbors, who say the immediate area is normally quiet of violent crime.
My son, he said he's seen her quite a few times. He's like, oh, we got a police in the neighborhood. That's good to know. But
just to see it on the news and hear about it, does it break your heart? Like,
break my heart. I was walking my dog and people, come and hug and crying. And it's just sad. It's really sad that she, like you said, she's going to graduate with her master's. And I just couldn't imagine, my daughter got her master's a couple of years ago and how proud I was for somebody not.
Ain't that some shit?
They likely targeted her. They knew who she was and targeted her purposely.
And guess who did it?
Well, we know who did it.
We sure do. How do we do that? She just got her master's. And it's funny because these fools online, like nut jobs, like Angry Man and Lexi, he calls himself Lexi. He sounds like he's a she, but Lexi talking shit about black women. But they don't talk about these black men who do this to black women, do they? They don't. That's some crazy-ish. But I'm not going to stay on this long, but even you guys on the red pills got to see how stupid this is. You follow the ideology of conservatives, right? Conservatives want a strong police force, right? This young lady just got a master's, probably had a very, very, very positive future coming up. And your buddies shot her. Your friends shot her.
They want to extinguish women that are doing well.
Right. That's just sad. And that's why we got to bring this back.
I'm making a video reply to your comment because I asked you a question and you did not respond. So we're going to have this conversation. We're going to talk about this photo that I posted because you had a problem with me comparing racism to the sexism that a lot of black men expose black women to. You guys don't want us talking about sexism. You have a big ass problem with feminism because all you seem to see is racism. It's like y'all refuse to admit the fact that sexism exists and that a lot of you act just like the person who posted this flyer. So we're going to go over it, whether you want to respond to me or not. So first, this says Negroes for sale. All right. So this is what slave masters used to post to let the other slave traders know that they're going to be auctioning off some Black people. Look at the language that they're using. They're using words like peaceful, no troublemakers. Now, keep in mind, a troublemaker to a Black man is a feminist, especially a Black one. Also, they're using words like all house trained, cleans and cooks, irons, makes bed.
Sounds familiar, fellas? Sounds like maybe Kevin was reading this document as well, because Kevin Samuels used to say all this shit.
So I asked you in my comment, is this not the things that Black men say that they are looking for in a wife? And are they not saying that westernized American Black women do not possess these qualities that the slave traders were looking for in a good, obedient slave? Look at some of the other language they're using. They says that this woman is 6 girls that are quiet, not headstrong, because the last thing a Black man wants is a headstrong woman, because a headstrong woman is viewed as being too masculine. This is shit that y'all are on this internet saying on a daily basis nonstop. But it's
true. You can watch on any Kevin Samuels channel, which there are at least hundreds of. There's talking this kind of crap.
Second, you see it on this flyer that says Negroes for sale at top. Now you're saying I'm sick for comparing the two. Well, they look exactly the fuck alike to me. And here's the thing. It says that they even use the word female on this flyer. So they're referring to Black women that they're selling as females. Y'all refer to us as females all the time. Y'all refuse to call us women. And lastly, the most sick about this all is they said that the girls are budding out, which means they're in puberty. Y'all love talking about how much y'all love younger women and that any woman over the age of 25 is past her prime because women age like milk.
Boom. I mean, right there tells you everything we need to know. I mean, she just wrote it to you. Now you see where you got. Now I'm just pointing out how you guys think. Okay? I'm just pointing it out. And remember, you guys are supposed to be logical. Remember, you're supposed to be the logical ones. You're supposed to be the, what is it? You know, the thinkers, and women are supposed to be emotional. You know what I mean? In the house, Siobhan. In the house, LM. In the house, Henry Mars. In the house, Mercy Me. In the house, Tomas. We're going to keep this going. This is going to get uglier just right about now.
Me tienes que pagar, me tienes que pagar. Me tienes que pagar. Vos me tienes que pagar. De una vez. De una vez.
What's up, guys? Razor.
Wait,
Razor
what?
raised.
Wait, stop. Pause. That's not the fit, friendly, feminine, and submissive that these guys are after.
Yeah.
Wait, replay that. Wait.
Me tienes que pagar. Vos me tienes que pagar. De una vez.
What's up, guys? Razor.
Okay, so let me go there because I don't want to. By the way, Razor Rays is supposed to come by and talk about their hypocrisy they were having over there. But for now, I want to go over this video here. Let's go over. I think it starts right here.
Eat what goes down next.
Look at that.
So help me understand why this bulldog is up in her face like this. Wait, I thought she was supposed to be fit friendly and submissive, and I thought that they didn't behave in such a manner that would elicit this type of behavior from a black man. Did I miss something?
Yeah. I mean, this is proof is in the pudding. You know, they're getting all the submission they want. In the house, black women rise. In the house, you can't get laid. That's probably what she said in Spanish. In fact, she's probably telling dude, you can't get laid. He's probably trying to be cheap or something. You know, look at him lose control though. See, black women, black. I remember old crusty Kevin Samuels was talking shit about like, yeah, men are leaders. What kind of leadership is this? What kind of leadership? What? She's definitely not. She's not American, right? Look at him go at it. Watch.
Okay, as you see, the friend had to get in between the guy and the girl. The guy approached the girl and was screaming in her face.
Come on now. You know that is not masculine energy right there.
Wait. Did he say that she was probably screaming in his face? Is that what he said? Is the reason that this bulldog reacted the way that he did? So, in other words, it's okay if a woman is screaming to attack her? Is this what is being said? Right. So he's exhibiting bandit behavior, in my opinion. I'm not sure whether, to me, it's like this. His buddy saved him. I mean, but the bottom line is this is like, black men, do you really believe this black man deserves somebody to follow him? Look at him. Not Razor, because he's he's a different thing. We're going to talk about Razor. We're going to talk about you later. Not today, though. When you're ready, let me know. But anyway, look. This is see, why is it that black men, we don't respect our reputation? There's no reputation. There is no image. The reputation and the image of the black man is what you see on the nightly news in every large city. So there is nothing to respect because they don't respect themselves. But they want everybody else to respect something about them when they can't even police themselves up. They behave like this. Now, the one guy, he's not even listening to the other guy with his shirt off, trying to hold him back and trying to tell him to calm down. He's not even listening to him.
No.
So imagine if that guy wouldn't have been there, what would have happened to that woman?
Exactly. And then he probably wouldn't have made it out of Colombia alive. Because, so, I mean, the thing is that they have where did I see? Right here. I mean, bottom line is this. We need to exhibit as black men more control. I guarantee not he wouldn't do this to in a white Caucasian establishment. I bet he wouldn't. So now we know that it has to do more with respect or control or fear.
Mercy Me says they want doormats. Any form of human emotion is demonized with these types of dudes. They're actually very, 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 very dangerous. And I added the extra varies. They're extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Kittens and Caskets says all she needs to do is call one of her brothers.
Boom. Camo knows.
Yeah, because the difference between black men and Hispanic culture is they stand in solidarity. Yeah. So it didn't even have to be her brother. She could have called two strangers that were Colombian and told them what was going on, and they would have handled business.
Yeah. Yep. I dropped a link just in case somebody wants to come up and talk. I'm going to keep this going for a few more minutes, but we're going to keep it rolling. Here we go.
Have gotten out of hand, guys. Control your tempers, guys, when you out there inside Cartagena, especially when you are inside the hotel room with the females. The friend having to stop the other friend from getting into a physical altercation with the female is one of the reasons why I personally do not like to share villas or hotel rooms with guys, because if they have an issue with a female out there, once the police come, their problem with the female becomes my problem with the female. So my words of advice for guys traveling out to places like a Cartagena: book your own rooms and handle your own business, and do not get drawn into.
And see, here's the sad part. Look at all the drama and effort these guys are going into just for some sex.
Exactly. It's insane. It really is. And when is the last time Razor Razor's been anywhere besides that little 4x4 4x4 closet and those bruised up knees turning left and right just to drink beer? When has he been anywhere?
Oh man. I mean, this is, I'm trying to show you guys, I'm trying to connect the dots for you guys. I'm really trying to connect the dots here. And I'm doing my best, but you guys gotta figure this out for yourself.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey, Camo.
So I thought the reason why you pay for a companionship is so that you don't have to go through stuff like this.
Boom. Bars.
Like that is like really counterproductive. I mean, we've heard all of the things that they say, you know, that they have to deal with women in the States. So this was the option that they choose to exercise, as they say that they have options. So anybody who pays for play, the reason why you pay for play is to pay for, you know, you pay for the companionship, the submission, and all the other things. So what I'm assuming is that it's levels to it based off of the prices. So
Wait, no. Wait, Camo, it can't be levels to it. Wait, isn't that what they tell us? There's no levels to submission. Like,
it got to be. But we know it is though, because submission costs. Like, you don't just submit to anybody. It's expensive. You know, that's why, you know, when they come in contact with us, they don't understand why we talk the way we speak to them. And it's because we don't owe you anything. So if you want submission, it costs. It's not cheap. You know, no one is just walking around submitting. So what I'm assuming is that this is like the lowest level of pay for play that you can get to, which is pretty much you could have just went to any hood in the United States and picked up somebody.
And this is the thing. She was fully clothed. Look at them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure this out. Why is it two men with their shirts off and she's fully clothed? Like, what's going on in this picture? So there's so much that we can presume by what's going on here. And both of them are clearly bandits. And that dude on the right side looks like he hasn't been with anybody in a very long time. Like, look at him. He doesn't even, they both look unkempt. So I don't know what's going on.
This goes into the lie of you know, this, you know, this is why this is so bad, because, you know, over on Peso's channel, you know, they've been exposing each other and talking about how this was a grift, and, you know, those women are not submissive, and, you know, they're pretty much, you know, working girls and all these other things. But what they put out to these men was that they were going to get this submissive woman that's just going to be happy that you're American and that you're there and that you're a Black man, and that, you know, they're going to be submissive and they're not going to be like women in America. So these men who probably never traveled before, go these places expecting what these men is selling them, and then they get there and they're in this situation. And I thought this was the DR, but this is Colombia. Like, this could have went really bad with him.
Came up missing. Just come up missing.
Like, how evil is that? Like, you argue with us. You paid other women to argue with us from different countries, but the brothers that you say that, you care about so much. You're that greedy and you hate your community that much that you would set them up and put them in this situation. And this is months, I think what it's been like about 6 or 7 months now that since the Passport Bros came out, and we was telling them that like this is not real, like, you know, trying to warn them. This is what we was warning them about.
I could care less if they're warned or not. They need to go over there and come up missing. If they're behaving like this, they need to come up missing, because I think it was Henry Mars that said, let me go back up. Henry Mars says, if you were a thug in America, you will still be a thug in Colombia. If you are a thug making $12 an hour, you will still be a thug making $100K a year just by flipping a switch. You're a thug. And these guys, that's who these guys are.
Yeah. You think that
and
these
you
girls
can't warn, but you can't
I'm sorry.
warn people. You can't warn people who don't want to be warned. You can't want more for people than they want for themselves. So
Right.
this is what they want for themselves. And the problem that they're having is they believe that they can behave the same way towards those women that they do Black women.
Right. And
And
you know
those
what it's called? It's blackmail culture. They can't blame this. They only show the proof of, you know, them blaming Black women for all of their problems and everything that's going on. But this right here shows this is blackmail culture. These aren't Black American women that they're doing this with. It was Black men who fed them the lie that they can go over there and act like they entitled assholes, that they act in America and everything was going to be all good.
Isn't that what
This
Austin
was all
Holloman
of
was
that.
selling? Isn't that what Austin Holloman was selling?
Yes. It's no different than the gang leader in a community that gather up all the young boys that don't have fathers or any guidance and tell them that they can be they can have all the girls and all the money and all they got to do is sell a little bit of product.
Right. LaQuinto Fox says Latin women are far from submissive, but just like every woman on earth, if you're doing right by them, they will do right by you mostly.
Exactly.
Boom. Boom. And I mean, the thing is this. Let's say they raise the price. Then it's like, thank you very much, ladies. We will not partake in this event. They did. He's going off. This nigga going off right here.
Roll it back a little bit. Let's see.
The police come with the approach.
Do you know how many people that I have seen in my life? So many fights started with somebody acting like this dude did.
What's so crazy to me is the comfort in which he's approached. Like, he's comfortable with getting up in women's face, and this is what these guys are promoting. They're promoting to behave towards women like you would behave towards a man. Like, right. This is nothing. They love to morph back to the Jim Crow days, but those men would never get in a woman's face and behave like this. Those men wouldn't do that. So they want to behave. They want the control that those men had, but they don't know how to behave like those men behaved.
You know, the violence in Colombia is 5 times worse than in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's welcome to the stage. Hey, Anthony. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. DJ, how's it going?
Doing well. Good seeing you.
Guys, they will not exude that same behavior they did to that woman to another man their size or greater. They are just pure cowards.
I believe you're right. Say that again, Cameron. What were you saying? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said the violence in Colombia, you know, that's another lie that they tell. Well, not a lie, but an excuse for them to, and you don't need an excuse to do what you want to do. I don't understand that with these men. Like, you don't have to have an excuse, but one of the things that they'll say is, well, you can get robbed in Chicago. You can get shot and killed in Chicago. But Colombia is 5 times worse when it comes to violence than Chicago.
Yeah, and Chicago.
And we know how bad Chicago is.
Chicago's still America, where you have the justice system, law enforcement to protect you. Over there, good luck.
I I wouldn't even go, I don't, live on that side. I don't know where to go. I'm pretty sure some nice places, but because I actually drove through there a few months ago and I didn't stop. So if I'm not going to go to Chicago, why would you feel safe behaving like this in a place that they say is 5 times worse than Chicago? Like something is not. The math
Because
is
they're illiterate. Like they are seriously illiterate. They have no logic. They don't understand the rules and the laws that govern them and that govern other people in the US does not carry over to other countries. So these guys are so ignorant that they don't even bother to learn the laws in other countries. They don't immerse themselves in the culture enough to know what's culturally appropriate. They are the same as they are in America. So this guy that's behaving this way, he probably has some DV charges in the US.
I agree. Let me kick out some shout outs real quick. Madison Goldman in the house, Venus Scorpio in the house, Jenny B in the house, BXX in the house, Tiff is in the house. We have You Can't Get Laid in the house. Maya LaShawn is in the house. Conscious Mind Love is in the house. Monica M is in the house. Black Woman Rise is in the house. King Lucifer is in the house. Mercy Me is in the house. M is in the house. We got everybody up in here.
In the chat, we have someone by the name BX saying his parents is from Latin America and what that dude did was sick. Them Latinas will get their lick back, and he's not lying. I grew up with Latin people too in DC, and I don't know why these men think that those women are weak. I would say that they're probably quicker to jump than at them than Black women would be.
And because they have the backing. That's the one.
They have the backing, and they have
the backing. They know that they'll be protected. Yeah, they'll be protected by anybody, not just
everybody.
Yes,
by other Black men too.
But that's true. That's true. But
I forgot to mention, Tiff is in the house and Strum is in the house.
He said Dominican Republic and Guatemala. Yeah, they better leave them people alone.
They can come up missing for all I care.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the next video. Here we go, guys.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? I had just made a video about younger women dating older men and how important it is now that younger women realize that the men their age is wasting their time. And that Black women need to stop allowing themselves to be subject to time wasters. Now, I'm not saying that younger dudes are pieces of shit, but younger men are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, they're supposed to be wasting your time.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I told you this is the game that these old men are running. These old men are running game on these young dudes, and they're trying to run game on the women, but the women aren't listening to anything that they have to say. And a lot of women who are younger and who are messing with older men are being exterminated because they're messing with these old men who don't want to do anything but control them, and they can't keep up with them.
Right.
There's a content creator, DJ know who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't have no beef with him, but I was a follower. I liked his content and I used to follow him, and he said a lot of things that was, he would say a lot of things that I didn't like about women, especially Black women. DJ, by me saying that, I think you should know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And so I had recently had to unfollow him. And this is one of the reasons why, is because he also promotes, I don't want to say he promotes women getting with older men, but I've started to notice that a lot of content creators base their content and the advice that they give off of how they feel and what they're feeling. Meaning that this is an older man and he may he may be attracted to younger women. That is the place that he's in his life. So what he's going to, it's gaslighting really. It's like, well, I'm going to give this information out to dress up something that we already know is not what it is. You get what I'm saying? So I recently had to follow this person because he does the same thing. And I started noticing, and I'm just like, the things that he talked about, I started realizing that it was experiences that he was having. And he would put it out to the public as if he's dropping game or wisdom, but no, it's not. It's basically, you're in this place in your life, so you're telling women these things about what they should be doing and how they should look at older men and these things. No, we're adults, we're women. We know how they look at you. Now, we know what we see when we look at you. Now, I will say this. If in our community, Black men who was older were wealthy, and I'm talking about wealthy, so we'll say, I think Sophia Richie recently married into like old money or something like that, and I think maybe the guy she married is like older. I would understand that, but that's not happening in our community. So I don't see no benefit for a young girl to waste her youth with a man who is not going to live longer that long. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely none.
Right.
Again, I go back to that. I keep forgetting the dude name. What was his name? DJ. Alan Curry. What was that dude name? David Allen.
Yeah, the guy who had a heart attack or something.
Yeah, with the 20-something, he had just married that 20-something-year-old, and she had like a 1 or 2-year-old or 1 to 3, and had to have a GoFundMe for his funeral because he left her with nothing
but dust.
That young girl, the one that married that 60-year-old man, remember that 18-year-old girl? Was he like 60 or 55 or something?
I think 63 or something like that. You're talking about the one, wasn't he a preacher or something like that?
No, you got that one, and before him, it was the one it went viral. Remember, I think he was like her godfather. He had watched her grow up.
Yeah.
They're divorced already.
I remember that.
Insane.
I remember that.
They're divorced
already.
Yes, I haven't seen the story though. I heard I didn't really see anybody really talk about it, but yes, she did divorce him. And you know what? You could tell from the way that she talked, she was being groomed because she was saying these same old head things. No offense to you, Twitch, you're not. But she was using these same talking points like, well, at least I'm not with a young boy that can't do nothing for me, and he could take care of me and all these other things. So you knew where that was coming from and where she got that from. But yes, they're divorced.
Oh, her. But he left her with nothing. I'm sure he left her with nothing.
He ain't had nothing to begin with. I think he had showed a car that was like an old Chrysler 300, and they didn't have nothing.
Exactly.
And she got with him and realized that. That's exactly what happened. She got with him and realized that everything that he was feeding her was BS. And now she's stuck with this older man. She has all of these young, handsome young men that's her peers running around. That's probably doing better than he is. And now she's stuck with him and she divorced him.
What's so crazy is these old men can't keep up. Like, I don't even understand how you think that you're going to go. You're a 50-something, middle 50-something-year-old man, even late 40s. If you're not in shape and you're not doing well in life, is going to keep up with a 20-something-year-old woman. Like, miss me with that. Like, women are so much more vibrant and so much more active and running to and fro at all ages, but especially in their 20s. Men, it's funny because they keep saying women hit the wall, but women don't hit the wall like men hit the wall. Men slow down to almost a crawl. Compared to
I don't know, what would you call it with men? Do they have like a libido or something? Like, what is it called? Like, whatever.
Yeah, their testosterone. Their testosterone.
Yeah, their testosterone, like, it lowers so much that, like, even me, like, I'm 42. I gotta, if you know, like, you wouldn't know that if I didn't tell you that. So it's a difference between my behavior and how my husband acts. And he's not old, but he's not like always playful and want to laugh and joke and like all those things like all the time. He's trying to like sleep, and stuff like that. Like it's not the same. And we only in our 40s. So like, even with older men, it sounds good. I don't know if you ever seen It's a movie called the what is it called? Vince Vaughn played in it, and they went on his vacation and all this stuff. And the black guy was dating this young girl. He had got a divorce, and he was dating this young girl. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a good movie. And in the movie, this young girl, she was like active and jumping around. And whoever the actor is the actor who played Big Worm. And he played the actor of like the older guy and the girl was like in her like 18, 19 years old. And she was just jumping around. And then later on towards the end of the movie, she went off to like the other side of the island to like where the young people was because he was boring. Like if you ever get a chance, I'll try to figure out the name of the movie, but it's a really good movie. Maybe even DJ Torch can play a part of it. That a little part of it just to show, what I was talking about. But it showed like that's what I think of. That movie is what I think of when I hear these men. That's like, yeah, older women, young girls like love us, and it's just like, no, I was a young girl.
Miss, not everyone said it was couples retreat.
Couples retreat. That's what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the fun. Have you ever seen it before?
No, I think I might have, but I might have forgotten about it. Is it an older movie?
Yes, it's hilarious. And in that movie, he's like just delusional. She got him buying stuff and all kinds of stuff, like buying all kinds of dumb stuff and trying to have, trying to do all the time. And he tired.
Let me play some more of this.
That's what they're supposed to do because they don't know what they want. So they're wasting their time too. You see what I'm saying? And they're wasting their time because they don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what they want. And they have been raised by parents that's not putting them on paths that they need to be going on. And also to the men and also to the young men that are on these paths. They don't want y'all. They don't want y'all time because y'all wasting their time. You see where I'm going with this?
No,
so not really.
No, sir.
He old.
Wait,
Yeah,
and
he
laid up on his mom's couch or some woman's couch because he didn't pick that out. Look at that.
Yeah.
He over there. Let me tell you, girl. He over there horny over there. And he done put this stuff up in his mind and said, this sound good. Let me put this out to the youngsters, the young girls, or whatever.
Monica said Monica said, wait, it was something she said earlier, right? When he chose to turn the camera on. She said he chose to he got dressed, turned on his internet, and hit record on this bull crap.
Right. He over there, done thought he done came up with something, and he why do these men not don't think that we as women know what we want and what we need and what we're doing when we're doing it? They do know that. They just think that they can trick a few, and the few that they trick, that they're happy about. Siobhan said, what is the 1970 vintage pimping couch he recorded from? I mean, when it started making that noise, when you because I had a grandma that had that plastic stuff on it, and when you move, it say like you keep moving, and the couch it make a sound of plastic. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear that when his bald head scrape across the back of that whatever that thing print is that he has, and it's a beautiful print. But we know for a fact that unless he has some type of vintage apparel going on in his home, which he probably don't, this is not happening.
It's somebody's hand-me-down. It's a woman. That sofa came from some woman. But I just like to point out this look that most of them have. And I'm going to mute you because you got some background on what's going on. That white t-shirt, bald head, and struggling beard. Like, what is that? Like, all of them have this look about them, and it's the same look.
I don't know if y'all remember, DJ. If you got the clip, you could play the part when the girl told Kevin Samuels, "Don't no young girl want no older man," and he said, "That's a lie because they beat me off with a stick." And I remember
that. I remember that video, and obviously, this is the funny part. If that was true. If Kevin said that, if that was true, then why did he have to 1099 his tricks?
Come on.
Remember that?
Yes.
It doesn't make, see, that's what's funny about these red pill dudes. They always give themselves away without knowing they give themselves away. If women, why would you pay for sex if women, you have to beat them off with this chick?
Exactly.
And you know,
Bridget
if you
said,
care, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bridget said he's online ordering his Viagra and Pinot pump. No, he's at the gas station. He's getting his Viagra from the gas station. Right?
The honey, whatever that is. Why would you buy something?
Oh,
in a
the royal honey.
And don't know what that is. Like, what in the world? Like, that is ridiculous. Stop
All right,
it.
let me play a little bit more of this in the house, though. We have Tiff in the house, Siobhan, Jenny is in the house, Black Women Rise, Monica, Madison Goldman, Bridget Mouton, Conscious Mind Love, Jenny B, LaQuinto Fox, Henry Mars, Monica M. Let's keep it going. Let's see
when Black women, when y'all say y'all want a specific type of man, those specific type of men don't want y'all because to them, y'all are time wasters.
That's a lie. You want to know why it's a lie? Because they're on those specific type of men like gorgeous women. It doesn't matter how, I mean, a 20-year-old, a man in his, let's say in his late 20s, early 30s, and he's working hard, which unfortunately these days is freaking rare. Okay. They're going to appreciate a certain type of woman, not a certain age of woman. Now, if he's 27, 28, 29, and he's talking to a woman who's 23, 24, well, the one thing they do have together is they are at least in the same decade, the same era. They have the same type of hobbies and everything. If you get with the old cat my age, like this fool right here, he ain't got nothing for you.
Absolutely nothing. Look at him.
Nothing.
But how is what he's saying, unless something else is going to come after what he just said, he's basically, what he said before doesn't make sense, because he's saying that women are time wasters. But what he said before that, he said young men are time wasters to young girls.
Yeah,
this is the problem.
He's saying that young men are time wasters to young women, and young women are time wasters to old men. That's what it sounds like. Roll it back. Roll it back.
No. He's saying that young women are time wasters to guys that are like on their purpose, which is not true.
But roll it back so we can hear it all in one stream, because we kind of forget what's being said when we interrupt.
Supposed to be doing, like they're supposed to be wasting your time. And themselves to be subject to time wasters. And how important it is now.
Before I play this, quite honestly, it just sounds like to me he's trying to be a manipulator. He's trying to.
Well, we already know that. I just want to hear it in one string, whatever he's saying.
Got it. Okay.
But
I just made it.
I wanted to say this real quick. You know, this is why I say again, this is Black male culture, and they are, you know, failing young Black men and young Black boys, because never in this conversation did he talk about the young men. What are those young men supposed to do? Those young men that these men say are frustrated, and that's why they're acting out, because they're frustrated that they can't get girls. Why are you trying to take the women that are of their age from them for your own pleasure? And you don't even care about what it is that they're experiencing. My son had this conversation with me before, and he talked about that, and he talked about how, you know, in school, girls that was his age was dating, the girls that he liked was dating grown men, and they were taking all of the young girls that he was interested in school. And that is a problem.
True. Okay, I'm gonna let this play all the way through. Here we go.
The video about younger women dating older men and how important it is now that younger women realize that the men their age is wasting their time, and that
I gotta read this real quick. Monica M says, "Mercy, 5 pumps and he will fall asleep."
He already has sleep now.
To stop allowing themselves to be subject to time wasters. Now, I'm not saying that younger dudes are pieces of shit but younger men are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, they're supposed to be wasting your time. That's what they're supposed to do because they don't know what they want. So they're wasting their time too. You see what I'm saying? And they're wasting their time because they don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what they want. And they have been raised by parents that's not putting them on paths that they need to be going on. And also to the men, and also to the young men that are on these paths. They don't want y'all. They don't want y'all time because y'all wasting their time. You see where I'm going with this? So when black women, when y'all say y'all want a specific type of man, those specific type of men don't want y'all because to them, y'all are time wasters. Y'all not fitting the categories of the woman that they want. Now, have you ever noticed that successful black men do not date average looking women? They don't date average looking black women. Even if they do date a black woman, she's not an average looking woman. And
where's this queen?
And honestly, bro, for the type of man that you black women are saying that you want, you way average. You're way below average to them. Look at all the successful black men out here. Like, let's take somebody like Kevin Hart. Let's just take somebody like Kevin Hart. A dude that, honestly, ladies, really, if Kevin Hart was in a club, would you talk to him? If he wasn't Kevin Hart, would you talk to Kevin?
So it again, it's the same type of verbiage, the same type of pamphlet discipleship. Is this ideology that good, rich black men don't want average women. They want young women. They don't want women their age. It's the same type of grift that he has going on, except he's too illiterate to even and non-charismatic to even make it sell a little bit. So he's just a couch surfer himself who's looking for another couch to surf on because nobody is buying what he's selling. And they always idolize entertainers who, again, you're nowhere near where they are. And average black men who are affluent on that's not entertainers, not in the entertainment industry, not NBA, NFL, those guys do marry average looking black women. So this idea that these guys, and it's so funny to me because it seems like that they don't understand that they're getting rid of themselves because look at you. You're look at you, you have nothing. These dudes that are selling this stuff don't have anything. So that's what's so funny to me. Like, what?
But it's the look on his face, though, that he really is like, feeling his narcissism. What he's not going to mention is that, yes, I don't know her name, but Miss Hart is a very attractive woman. And his ex-wife is also a very attractive woman, and he cheated on both of them. And so apparently he's never satisfied, along with many of the other professional athletes and entertainers. We're not talking about other successful black men who are married. We're talking about entertainers and athletes. But one thing that he didn't mention is that the men who rule the whole world and run everything are married to average looking women and in their group, in their community. And some of them are married to black women as well. And they're also married to college educated women. And this is another thing that they say, well, men don't care about what you have. Like, wealthy men don't care about what you have or your degrees and all these other things. But that's not true. If you look up a majority of the wealthiest men in the world, they're also married to women who may have come from affluent families. They may not be that attractive, but they also are educated. So everything that they say to me, in my opinion, is counterproductive, and that's why they always fail.
Let me read some of these comments. Mercy Me says they want to use youth to have an advantage over young guys, but will also use it to shame women. Make it make sense. Mercy Me said he'll I'm 31 and got a bedtime. I like my sleep. Monica says, I'll pay my own rent and I'm in my 40s. The only thing growing on his old self is his nose.
And the Quinto says, keep it, but keep it 100. A average looking Black woman is far above the average of other women, and that is true. Have you seen other women in their 40s and 50s? It's very rare. That's why when one of them looks young, it's like a big deal, and they're like, look at Cher, she's 100 years old and she looks
Cher had
60.
Cher had the best plastic surgeon.
I don't know what she got. Like whatever she got.
Whoever is doing her like that.
I mean, seriously, like whatever pool she jumping in. I mean, when I start wrinkling at whatever, probably at 70 years old, I'm going to jump into that pool.
But I think she's Native American and something else though, isn't she? Cher.
I think she is.
She is. Yeah, she's supposed. Well, actually, from what I've been told is that no offense to anyone, but she's actually she's from that group that's like they're Romanian. I can't think.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a group that's Romanian. That was I guess they're now considered. Most people consider them gypsies. I guess you could say like that. But they're also very beautiful people as well.
Yeah, they are. Jenny B says, but they'll date an average or hideous white woman. The thing is, Black women have to be perfect for Black males, even be a perfect 10 for a bus driver. Go drink coolant.
Whoa, drink coolant.
Miss RV says, look how that fits hard. She said in her West Indian voice.
The name is Romani. That I guess it's with I don't know if that's the gypsy term, because I know some gypsies. I've heard that it's like that. That's like a bad thing to call them, but the term is Romanis. I had seen that from a Romani YouTuber, and he was talking about all of the people who was Romani, and Cher is like half of that, and they're very attractive, very nice looking melanated people. So
okay, I'm gonna keep it going. Here we go, guys. Next one. Oh, before I do that, shout out to Black Women Rise. Shout out to Monica M. Shout out to Alexander Brannon's in the house. Shout out to Raphael Jacobs. Shout out to Mercy Me. You Can't Get Laid. Henry Mars and Miss RV. Here we go.
Have you guys heard the stat that 80% of Black women are getting pregnant by 18% of Black men? Stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you why that's false and people need to stop regurgitating it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this rumor was started by Kevin Samuels, and because men who lack accountability fucking love Kevin Samuels, that's why they just regurgitate it without stopping to think, does this actually make any fucking sense? So you can
Vonda in the house. Vonda.
See here, it says, I've seen Kevin Samuels say this several times, and plenty of people on the subreddit repeat this, but I wish y'all stop because it's wrong. I understand the reasoning for coming to this conclusion, since 52% of Black men are unmarried without children and 30% of Black men are married. This means the other 18% are responsible for all single parent households, right? So this person says, no, it makes no sense logically, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. He says that for this to be true, then 52% of Black men, both single and childless, will have to remain that way forever. So that's why the stat is automatically incorrect, and we have proof to back that up. In fact, you can see right here on the chart, it says that men age, in fact, it says Black men with children age 20 to 29 is 24%. But by age 40, 80% of Black men have fathered children. So how could this stat possibly be true? So he must be talking about certain percentages in age groups of Black men who are fathers. But Black men are going around saying, oh, most of us don't even have kids. That's bullshit. We know it's bullshit. Okay?
Wait, can
because
you pause it?
The stat never.
What's funny to me is it's the dudes that have kids that will quote this.
It sure do.
It's crazy.
You will ask them, like, ask everyone that says that. You be like, you got kids? Yeah, I got kids, but I know a lot of guys that don't have kids. As you can see, if you remember the failed angry man goes on on Destiny's channel and repeats these ridiculous statistics, and every time he was asked, show the proof, where did you get this from? No, I'm just telling you about people that I know.
All right, let me keep it going.
Never made sense to begin with. So here you can see on this graph from the U.S. Census Bureau, the people who go door to door and actually knock on people's doors and ask them if they have children. Well, it just so turns out that the stats have checked out, and that Black men by age 40, 80% of them are fathers, which means it is very possible that 18% are impregnating the entire 3.5 million Black women is false. So anybody who you hear say that, you can call them out on that. You can share this video. You can repost it right now just so you can get the word out. But of course, we know that a certain demographic of people will say any fucking thing if it gets them off the hook for any type of self-accountability. So they just make up stats. They pull it from under their ball sack, and then they smear it all over the internet, and they actually think people are supposed to believe it. Ciao, bye.
All right, that was a piece of my mind, everybody. You got to check her out.
How is these traveling penises getting around to all these millions of Black women?
Wait, and not only that, Camo, not only that, they are Pookies and Ray Ray. So are Black women paying to transport them from place to place to impregnate them? Because we know they don't have money themselves.
I don't understand.
Monica M says they didn't understand that the chart was progressive. It was just sad to hear. Shaking my head. College matters.
Yeah, ladies, let me tell you something. The one thing that old fogey, who's my age, was right about is that men will waste your time. So definitely get your education. You got to get your education, get your employment and education up. All that crap that Kevin Samuel was talking about on going, being a wife and everything. Well, look at him. Look at him. I want you to start with him. If you really want, I want you to tell me how his life turned out when he got himself a wife, and look what he did to his wife. The only reason his wife was able to survive was she had an education and she had a job. Otherwise, she would have went down in that dusty ship that he was on. I need to tell you that. I can't save the young brothers right now. They aren't listening to me, and I tried. I tried for 20 years. So you got to save yourself, ladies.
Look, so that exactly the 18% is busy, and if 18% is impregnating all of these women, just imagine how many people are actually closely related. Would have to be closely related if 18%.
There's so many hypocrisies going on with these men. It's the fact that it's all of these single mothers and they supposedly don't prefer Black women. It's the fact that all of these women have children and only 18% is is traveling around in the brotherhood of the traveling penises to impregnate all of the Black women of the United States.
Not the brotherhood of the traveling penises.
All right, folks, here we go. Next one up.
When nobody tells you about divorce, the brutal truth. A man no longer offers access to provisions and protection after a divorce. A woman no longer offers access to loyalty, appreciation, and respect after a divorce.
Wait, so Black men weren't offering any of those things in a marriage. So
exactly.
I'm confused by what, the separation and divorce type thing. Like, I'm sure she knew that you weren't going to be offering anything if she wasn't offering access to her body. So I'm sure when she decided to divorce you, she took all that in consideration and didn't care. So the thing that's funny to me is they talk about 80% of the women are the ones that, initiate divorce. And they act like it's not for a reason, but we all know that it is for a reason, and there are very specific reasons. And it's because they're not doing what they were supposed to do within the marriage. So anything that's lost outside of the marriage does not compare to her peace.
Right. And not only that, but he actually lied, because I know of a lot of couples that were divorced that They stayed in touch. If they shared children, they made sure everything was okay. He still supported them. If he was a good man, he would still supported them or still helped where people need to be helping. What he's doing is he's giving you his thought process. This man right here is exposing himself. He's exposing himself as a Dusty loser.
And I don't have children. I don't have any children with my ex-husband. I don't have any children at all. And he has a child, and he's been married to the woman he's with longer than we were married, but we still keep in touch. So, you know, good men do what good men do. You know, and bad men do what bad men do.
Exactly that.
Separation up until divorce.
I just noticed that all of these men are the men, like this guy right here. I could just look at him and just tell he's a sleaze, like slime ball. And these are the kind of men that's impregnating, that are having babies with people, because first of all, he's a person that don't take accountability, but he's to a woman who maybe, I don't want to say desperate, but maybe not as wise. He can talk her into whatever, because that's what he does.
Yes, he's a poser. This dude
he's a poser. Yes.
A woman completely shuts off access. She has expired her duty and contributions to the union. A man cannot shut off access. His duty remains consistent. He does not get to.
Oh my God. I couldn't even get.
Wait, I'm confused. He says what now? What is this diatribe about exactly? What's the name of this? What nobody tells you about divorce, the brutal truth? Oh, okay.
He remains consistent. He does not get to expire. Shut off access.
The fact that they're getting divorced is because the guy wasn't consistent.
Come on now. I want to hear, can we just hear, because I know we have a tendency to chop stuff up and it's hard to keep a train of thought.
What I'll do is it's only a minute long, so I'm gonna play from the beginning and we'll get through it. It's just these people are so ridiculous. You know how we have to cut in, but I'm gonna just let it play. Here we go.
When nobody tells you about divorce, the brutal truth. A man no longer offers access to provisions and protection after a divorce. A woman no longer offers access to loyalty, appreciation, and respect after a divorce. During separation, up until divorce, and long after, a woman completely shuts off access. She has expired her duty and contributions to the union. A man cannot shut off access. His duty remains consistent. He does not get to expire his contributions. During separation and divorce proceedings, a woman will strip you of your assets and children, have another man occupying your side of the bed, and time with your children while you're paying the rent and utilities, including the apartment you have to stay in during the process. More often than not, attorneys will persuade men to stand down when battling for joint custody due to the unfair court system. And more often than not, you'll be paying for her attorney fees. And if you had a lengthy marriage, you'll be paying alimony. So when it's all said and done, you'll be funding her lifestyle with someone else, and your children will be weaponized against you. So let's stop questioning men who'd rather exercise their options or promote premarital agreements.
This is the funny part. This guy is two-faced, and I'll tell you why. Wait, let me move it back.
When nobody tells you about.
I'll tell you why this guy's two-faced. Because I watched a video that we reviewed, actually, where he was a guy who was promoting marriage was on there, and he was telling this guy that he doesn't like. He is talking to the marriage guy was saying to all the naysayers out there, marriage is not that bad, blah, 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 blah. And this guy tried to act like this two-faced, you know something? I need to do a video mix of it because this dude right here, two-faced right in that dude's face by saying, oh, well, I never disparage marriage and all this kind of shit. He was talking that kind of shit. This dude right here was talking that kind of crap. But now, if you listen to him now, he's telling you in so many words that marriage is bad and that being a male whole is better. Because listen,
I want to tell you why what he said is a lie. First of all, in family court, when a woman gets into another relationship while going through divorce, it looks bad. She's vilified for it. But it works for men because when the man gets into another relationship with a woman, it makes him look stable, especially if you're fighting for some type of custody or something like that. It makes him look like he has a new girlfriend or fiance, whatever she is at that moment, and the child will be stable. This, you can even look this up. There's studies about this. And what happens is, a lot of the times, the man ends up getting the child. A lot of times, not to say that he is only for child because he don't want to pay, but a lot of times it is because he doesn't want to pay. And what happens is the girlfriend becomes the single stepmother, and he's going on to do what he wants to do, because the reality is he only had that girl because it looks good for him in court, because it looks better for the man to have a relationship than the woman.
Right.
So everything that he just said was a lie.
Not only that, again, we've already showed the statistics of them fighting for their children. They don't do that. And now he wants to blame the lead attorney, as if the lead attorney has been around for 50 years telling this man that. This dude, lead attorney, has only been out for how long? 7 years, maybe? 5 years or whatever. And then this idea that they're going to be paying some type of alimony. Not every state is an alimony state. And I think only 3% of people pay alimony, to include women that are paying alimony. These guys don't even have enough to pay alimony. And let's stop fronting like these dudes all have homes, because most of them won't have a home unless they have one with a woman. So they're not losing homes to people because they bought the homes in the first place. And in most states, if he did buy the home before they were married, he retains the home. Even if he doesn't retain anything else in it, he still retains his home. So these guys love to make up these scenarios, like Siobhan said, these divorce court dreams. She said they keep dreaming up these divorce court proceedings that don't match their income. Exactly. Like, miss us with that. You guys are crying about being bus drivers, so we know that you're not bringing home enough to maintain a household on your own. And I was watching a white guy who was crying on YouTube about losing his home because his wife divorced him and took the kids, and her parents bought her a home with the man she's with now. So her parents number one, didn't approve of him. Number two, he wasn't capable of taking care of that home without her income. So again, these guys love to talk about what's going to be lost in divorce proceedings that they don't have now.
Right. Vonda says this. They don't have money for all that. These dudes are whining about losing money they don't even have. And she nailed it. That's exactly what it is.
And one guy we played talked about that. He was like, he's in his early 20s. He was like, I was listening to all this stuff and I got to thinking, wait, I don't even have enough money to be sued for anything if I did get divorced. I don't have a home to lose. So,
right.
If once you rationalize and you become logical and you think about what they're selling you, you won't buy it because it doesn't even make sense. If you don't have anything, what is there to lose?
Right.
Because for the most part, Black women are coming into it with more than what Black men are.
Another thing that they always, I don't know if they just don't know, or that it goes along with their woman blaming, is that all of these laws were made for men. The problem is that this is how I know that a lot of these men don't have much money, is that these laws was not made for poor people. They were actually put in for wealthy men. That's why you never hear wealthy people cry about child support. Mm-hmm. And the reason why was written was long ago, when men would have children outside of marriage and all these other things or whatever. And it also goes into why the court a lot of times favor the mother, and it was because it was a time when it was natural for women to just have the child, because the father would be busy, whatever his ventures or whatever.
Not only that, the women weren't working. The women weren't working during that time.
And women didn't work at that time. There's a movie about Judge Ruth, the first Supreme Court, the first woman in the Supreme Court. She went through a divorce during her time in college. And this is when she was young, so it was long ago, maybe in the 60s. And it's a show about it. You can watch on the show. And there's a part in the show where when she goes to the judge, she's giving up her parental rights because the roles was reversed. She was the one who was in law school and all these other things. And she wanted to give her son custody. And the judge was confused. He was like, what do you mean? You want to give up your parental rights? And she was like, yeah, I'm going to give him my child. Like, he can keep the child. And she was like, what? He was like, what does that mean? He couldn't even comprehend what she meant by that, because at that time that was unusual. So I don't understand why they keep on complaining about something that, first of all, men made. We have no control over it all.
Exactly.
You'll be
They
paying
made
alimony. So when
those
it's
laws they made those laws to help the women of their community. And the only reason why what's so bad about the black is because if you Negroes was taking care of your children, you wouldn't be on child support. Like, nobody who's actually taking care of their children is on child support. And let's just be real, statistics show that the black men aren't even paying the child support that they owe.
Right.
As much as I can't stand him, what Kanye pays almost $500,000 a month in child support, and you never hear him complain. And Tom Cruise pays the same thing, and you wouldn't even know that if you didn't look it up yourself. I just happen to see that he doesn't see his children, but he pays $400,000 a month, and he's never said a word. That's why I'm saying that's why I'm telling you that those laws was not made for women, and they weren't made for poor people. They definitely wasn't made for black men. So if they was to do a lot more research before they start having random children with random women and wanting to be free men running around, such as what he said, allow them to do whatever they want. You can do that, but it comes with a cost that was not made for you, and you're going to cry about it when it happens, and we don't want to hear it.
Okay, here we go.
It's all said and done, you'll be funding her lifestyle with someone else, and your children will be weaponized against you. So let's stop.
Nigga, they would have to have money. All the dudes who listen to you don't have money.
At all.
Especially men who'd rather exercise their options or promote premarital.
Okay, so here's the funny part to me.
Wait.
So he's promoting promiscuity. That's what he's promoting.
Right, but they can't even afford their own lifestyle. So how is it that they're going to be paying for someone else's lifestyle? They complain about women taking child support to pay for nails and hair, and that's not even what they pay in child support doesn't even take care of the child a month, especially if it's a young child, because it doesn't even cover daycare.
Right. I mean, this is the thing here. Listen to this part right here.
Their options or promote premarital agreement.
Exercising your options is defined as being pookie. He doesn't want to say that. That's the new jargon. Exercising options, that's what Austin used to say. And basically what he's saying is that black men should not commit, which we don't do anyway. So it's amazing to hear this kind of crap. And I think I'm going to be bringing up some more of this dude's videos.
Agreements.
And he's acting like he's dropping some knowledge and shit. But they won't worry about shit like this. This is what they won't worry about. Listen closely.
A Houston cop, shoots an unarmed black male. Here's the video.
Put your hands, don't move. Do not move, do you understand? Do not move, do you understand?
Man, why you want to do it?
Step out.
Man,
Step out. Step out.
For, man?
Because you get hit a stolen vehicle, man. Turn the vehicle off.
What you tripping for, man?
Turn the...
Man, you tripping, man. Man, you tripping, man.
Stop.
Man, stop, man. Man, you tripping, man.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Man,
what happened? Stop. Stop.
Stop.
They ain't worried about stuff like this. Now, to me, I don't know what. Quite honestly, I don't know why the guy just didn't. The guy had a gun.
Oh, so does he have? He sounds like he has aphasia or something. Like he couldn't speak clearly. Like something was going on. Because he didn't. Did I miss something? So he had a gun in the car?
I guess not. No, the officer had his gun on him, right? And it sounded like the guy he couldn't understand what he was saying or something like that. And
because he sounds like he has aphasia, or like he sounds like either like he had a stroke or something like that, because he's not
His speech isn't coherent. But it didn't sound like someone who's inebriated. It sounds like someone with that has difficulty speaking. Can you start it over? Can you start it over? Sorry.
I'll start for right.
Put your hands, don't move. Do not move. Do you understand? Do not move. Do you understand?
Man, what you want to do?
Step out. Step out.
Wait. Okay. See, I'm breaking this down deep. The first officer said, do not move. Then he says, step out. He has to move to step out. Okay. The guy said, okay, you're in a stolen car. So this is the thing. The officer was not giving him clear direction. At the same time, I'm not sure because I don't know what's going on with the brother here. I don't know if he's got a problem with
everybody is correcting me. It's everybody is correcting me saying that's how they talk in Houston. So I thought if they say so.
Tripping for a man?
Because you get in a stolen vehicle, turn the vehicle off.
What you tripping for a man?
Turn the
What in the world?
Okay. Right there, the brother ain't helping himself because he's trying to escape.
Get out of what I don't like. What they do that I don't like is they do give conflicting commands, and so it's almost like they don't want you to follow the commands so they can escalate the situation. First and foremost, you have to unbuckle your seatbelt. He has a lot of stuff going on right there on the right where the driver's side is. I'm trying to figure out what is all that right
That's
there.
a Kevin Samuels bag.
Is it?
Yes, that's that bag. You know that little chest bag they wear these days.
And a big brown belt.
Yeah,
it's a satchel.
Yeah, satchel. That's it. In the house,
So
Marvel's in the house.
seatbelt.
Henry Mars is in the house. Raphael Jacobs is in the house. Miss RV is in the house. King Lucifer is in the house. Big J is in the house. Jenny B's in the house. Okay, this is what I'm getting with this. I can see this turning into a cluster right now. First of all, the guy, to me, it's like this. This man did not deserve to be shot, but he did deserve to be apprehended because he's not following directions. Now, at the same time, no, these directions suck. Don't move. Get out of the car. Now, the problem I had was when he tried to drive away.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with my brother right here, because he's trying to drive away. Why would if a guy's holding a gun to you and you know he's an officer, obviously that means you just can't drive away. He's trying to apprehend you. Why make it hard on yourself? Lonnie Clark says he's not following orders and he's running.
He running where? He's in a seatbelt.
Well, I guess further on in the video.
Oh, man, you tripping, man. You tripping, man. Stop. Man, stop, man. Man, you tripping, man. Stop. 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 Man. What happened? Stop. Stop.
So when he knocked her down too, he knocked her down trying to run. So who is she? This doesn't even make sense.
Which it makes sense and it doesn't make sense, because think about it like this. He endangered, obviously that woman was probably in the car with him or was trying to help him. He didn't care.
I think that one thing is that if you ever worked in this type of environment, one of the first things is that they don't have control of the scene. So you got this woman walking up. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
And in his defense, he's probably scared. I get scared when, just when the police, if I get pulled over for a ticket, like I'm like a lot of times I just like tell them like, look, it's no weapons in the car. I hold my hands up and say I'm getting my information. So this is like unprofessional altogether. I mean, and like she said, you can't really understand or see what's going on. But one thing that you can see is that these officers are supposed to have control over the scene, and they're not doing their job
that he was
at all.
there by himself, and why she came around. She could have gotten shot by just coming around, because that didn't make sense. Like, why did you come around the car up on the officer? Like, people, especially Black people, when things happen, I don't understand them, because you already know what happens in the U.S. So why don't you do what needs to be done in order for you to go home safely? Just follow directions.
I also think that he might be some inebriated or whatever the case may be. It's just never good. I don't know why he's in a stolen car, or if it's wrong, or maybe there's some type of, I don't know this story, but you just don't want to be in this situation at all. I would have just did whatever, tried my best to do whatever they were saying, but it's definitely a problem that the girl is just free to like roam around like that. They should have had her, somewhere maybe in a police car or something, or with another officer.
I think he was the only one on scene. Was he the only one on scene, DJ Torch?
Yeah, it looked like to me that he was the only one, because I didn't see any other officer around. Let's keep it going.
Stop.
I have more video. The man did not want to go to jail. He did not want to be caught. Let me put up this picture full mask, provide some context before I go to my next video. It's such a sad encounter. The intense body cam footage released by the Houston Police Department last Wednesday shows an altercation between a Houston officer and an unarmed Black man, which resulted in the 44-year-old Jamar Thompson being shot, fatally shot. A loved one identified as Danica Abraham screamed in agony during the entire incident. Cops say the officer lost his taser and his radio during the tussle. Officer lost Abraham screamed, one identified as Danica Abraham screamed in agony during the entire incident, being shot, fatally shot. A loved one identified as Danica Abraham screamed in agony during the entire incident. Cops say the officer lost his taser and his radio during the tussle, which was picked up and held by Miss Abraham. His next move, reaching for his firearm. Okay? There's more video.
Give me that. Give me the taser. Yeah, give me the taser. 24.
Oh, that's it. Sorry.
Okay, you know what? She escalated.
Wait. Let me talk for a second. I'm sorry. It's bad luck for him. The guy asked for the taser, couldn't get it, had to go use the next best thing he had. Sorry, that's it. It's a wrap. I'm sorry. I really wish I could defend the brother, but in this situation, there's nothing you can do. I mean, what is he going to do? I mean, he asked for the taser. He understands that the woman is not trying to be a problem, right? So he understands that. So it's, ma'am, but she's panicking, and I understand that she's panicking. She is panicking. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't even know if she should hand that taser to him. Even though this is Taser City right here. This is Taser City right here.
Actually, it's Gun City, is it not? So her handing him the taser.
No. What I mean is that he's trying to do the right. Believe it or not, the cop's trying to do the right thing. He's just trying to taser dude. He's not trying to kill dude. Else he wouldn't have asked for the taser.
I'm sorry, but it's her fault. It's her fault. She should have stayed back and allowed whatever happened to happen because she picked up his radio and his taser. He couldn't call for backup. He couldn't use his taser, so he reached for whatever he could use. So if she would have stayed her behind back and just recorded from somewhere else, and if the guy would have followed the instructions, this wouldn't have happened. In essence, it's their fault. So nobody should be in an uproar. It's his fault for not complying, and it's her fault for getting in the way and picking up the radio and the taser.
You know, the word, you know, that starts with the M is what she is. And I don't want to say it because I'm aware that a lot of people are offended by that word. But that's why we use that word to describe certain women like her. And that's exactly the behavior that she displayed. And a lot of women display when it comes to dealing with Black men, supporting their degeneracy and not doing the right thing and causing more problems than you think when you think that you're actually helping. And it's just really a bad situation because none of this had to happen. I think at one part, if you go a little bit back, I think the guy reached for his gun, like touched his gun on his waist. And it's just a bad situation altogether.
Let's see what the result is real quick. I'm not going to drag this on. No, we got so much more. Here we go. Look. Okay, look. Is this guy on the ground? Is the officer on the ground?
Yes, he was on the ground.
Oh, F that. It's a wrap.
And the crazy part, again, she could have been shot. Like, she could have been shot because she was in the way. Like, even if you're trying to intervene, just stand back and hold the camera. Don't get in the way because they already tell you that she's lucky to be alive herself because he would have been justified in shooting her too.
Yep.
Okay. I need you to really understand something very clearly about this encounter. I say this often, and I will submit it to you again. Just because someone may need to see a judge does not mean they deserve to see their maker.
That I agree with, but this dude had no.
And this is my problem with a lot of Black men is you're fighting. This guy wasn't complying. She got in the way. This is not an innocent situation. If that officer was by himself, he did the best thing that he could do to protect himself because they weren't complying. She had his weapon. She had his weapon and his radio. If he would have shot her, he would have been justified. Like what is the outrage for? Why is anybody outraged about the situation?
This content creator, I don't know. Is he a content creator or is this a real news channel or is this his content?
No, this is a real news channel.
It's
not actually news. It's YouTube news. It's the Young Turks.
It's YouTube news.
Yeah, he actually I've watched him a few times and he really do care about these situations. I can see the distress on him in his face. It's really sad, you know, like what he's saying, I understand. Nobody deserves that, but can't nobody preserve your life? You have to care about your life more than other people do.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
police officers are not designated to be out of their way government. If a Black person,
let me say this real quick while you're doing that.
Still nothing. All right.
This is a progressive news YouTube news channel. So the Young Turks are progressives. So this is what the format is of theirs. They call a lot of stuff out, but again, the police brutality that they're trying to insinuate in this situation just isn't there.
Not in this situation, no. LaQuinto Fox says, DJ Torch, there is something that can be done. Most of the police are undertrained. That is, I agree with that 150%, LaQuinto. I used to help run a self-defense class with some police, and most police are clueless about basic self-defense. I couldn't agree more.
Well, their training isn't that long, and they aren't trained. That some of them are trained properly, and some of them aren't. But when you have situations like this, when you get in deadly situations, it's adrenaline. So a lot of the stuff is not even reverting back to the training that you've been given. It's
right.
Adrenaline, because I there's not a lot of scenarios where somebody picks up your your taser and your radio and stand over you. Like, she was standing over him. This scene just didn't make sense at all.
So, Lonnie was saying that he has military background, and he comes from a family of officers, police officers, and I was in the military for 20 years. So when you there's a ladder of force when you're dealing with a situation like this. That first is you make a command, and it's your presence, and then from there you go on, and then the last option would be to use deadly force, which was him using his weapon, ultimately shooting this man, or whatever the case may be. To me, in this situation, the man did not have a weapon, but he was free in his hands, and he did. I think I did see him grab for his weapon, and that was not that was a dumb move. And he did ask for his taser, because that's a part of the ladder of force, meaning that after the commands wasn't being met and this man became aggressive, then you would go to the next level of force, which would be the taser or his baton, or whatever the case may be. And he did put this man in a situation where he had to make a decision to use deadly force, and it is a sad situation. One of the things that did not happen, I don't know what happened in that ladder of force, is that you called for help. And I don't know, I didn't see at no point did he call.
How could he call if she had it? How could he call if she had his radio? She had his radio and his taser, so he couldn't call. That's why I said she escalated the situation. She actually caused this, because had she just stood back and let the officer do whatever it was with this man, then he would have had his radio, he would have had his taser, and he would have had those ladders.
I think that when he was negotiating, whatever he was negotiating with him to get in the car, out the car, or whatever he was trying to say, at some point there, he should have. I think he was more concerned with not letting this man get away. I guess whatever. Maybe that's what it was. I personally would have stepped back and said, "Okay, you know what? I'm tired of telling him." I would have went and called for backup or whatever, and then I would
leaving the scene. He was already up on him, so his choice was to apprehend him. You don't walk away once you've already stood in front of them and tried to apprehend them. You don't walk away, because walking away could cost you your life. So he didn't have the choice to just go back and call for help. His radio was right there, and during the scuffle he dropped it and she picked it up. Had she handed him his stuff like he said, then he probably wouldn't have been shot, but would have been tased. She should have never touched it.
No, she should. Okay. I think she thought she was doing the right thing. Like, he's trying to do this.
What she thought was so the guy wouldn't grab it, but and then get shot because he grabbed it. But the officer has no other weapon but his gun. So
okay, this is my opinion. And we're gonna move forward. Basically, I don't blame it fully on her. She was another element in this whole thing that made things get worse. But I mean, the bottom line is that it wasn't like she used the taser. She didn't use the taser on the cop. She didn't use anything against the cop or anything like that. Things got out of hand. He lost his gear. I just see this whole thing as just really, really horribly bad luck for everybody involved, to be honest with you. I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, he knows a person knows when you lose your weapons or you lose your comms. I mean, basically, you're in trouble. You're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
You know that. And the thing is this is she didn't try to she complicated things and she made things worse, but she wasn't at fault. I don't know how to explain it. I know it
How
sounds
did he
weird.
lose his did he lose it in the tussle or something? Did he come off his belt?
Yeah, when he was wrestling with the guy, because at one point all three of them were on the ground at one point.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
She should have got on her phone and called 911 and called for help.
To me,
She could have did a lot more.
Yeah, the problem, well, the thing is that you can't, that's the one thing that I do, and I'm not no officer at all, but that's one thing you have to take an account for is that it doesn't matter how you lost your gear, you lost your gear. She was panicking. She was definitely not, she was more level-headed than dude, but she was still losing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
of course, she a civilian. If you never had like any training, and even a person that had some type of training, whether it's military or security or like police or something like that, and you run into situations like this, you are kind of stunned as well too. But it's your job as that professional to try to do your best,
right.
Because he's going to have to explain that. How did you allow this woman to get? Because she has a weapon now. She could have tased him as well. It could have been a lot worse than what it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot more people laying there. And in this situation, nobody is going to win in this situation. I don't think that he did this. I don't think that he was being negligent or he did this out of just wanting to do this. Like, this is bad.
Well, let me put it this way. He could have done, it could have been a lot worse and it could have been a lot better. It's that simple. But I mean, what I mean is this, is that he could have shot both of them. He could have shot both of them.
Legally.
And it sounds strange, but I have to hand it to the cop for knowing that she was not an assailant, if you know what I mean. Because a lot of guys, they're shooting up everybody in the area.
Right.
So I have to give them that. I have to give them that much. So and as far as the brother, if he I understand that the officer was wrong at the beginning, believe it or not, because he gave two contradictory statements. He said, "Don't move," and then he said, "Get out of the car." Okay. But after the man put his foot on the pedal, you're basically, to me, you're basically giving up you're giving up some of your rights. If you live, great, but there's a possibility you've increased your probability of being unalived.
These officers is one thing that I noticed is a difference between the military and police officers is that I understand that these that the government is short on police officers and stuff like that, but they need to train. In the military, your job is training. You train 24/7 until you in a situation where you deployed or something like that. You train. So we train so much that it's a little different when you're in, situations where you have to have a weapon. With him, a lot of these officers, you could tell that what is the likelihood that he comes into a situation like this often? It's not very often, and they don't have the time to train the way that they should be training because they don't have enough officers to be able to allow training as often as they should. Like they need to train a lot more.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 months and you're on. So let me go on to this next video.
You're now tuned in.
You are now tuned in to
the realest show on YouTube with your host, The Angry Man.
So,
this fool.
To the men out here
no.
that are tuning in from all over the world.
I need to preface this, everybody. This is a dude, okay, who laid up with a woman got her pregnant 3 times, had 3 kids, wasn't making any kind of money. If he was making money, it was the wrong kind of money. Freeloaded off of her Section 8 by living with her in her Section 8 housing, then blames women for being on Section 8. After being supported by a woman, okay, who had Section 8, because both of them were too broke. The only way that they could have been in Section 8 is this ninja right here wasn't about shit. Because if he had money back then, they wouldn't have to be on Section 8, right? So I need to preface this because it's important you hear what stupidity is coming out of this man's mouth. I mean, this man right here made me bump the Grammy sphere back a day or two just because of his stupidity.
I got one question for you. When was the last time
God damn. Can he, nigga, get the I can't. Let me speed him up. I gotta speed.
Please, because I don't understand how anybody can listen to him, and I have ADHD, and this is just not working for me.
I mean,
I actually like went into like a daze, like I spaced out.
I mean,
like he's not good for people that have seizures. Like,
right. Right. I mean, let me kick some shout outs in the house. Maya LaShawn's in the house. Rick Rowe is in the house. We have King Lucifer in the house. Henry Mars, Jenny B, Lonnie Clark, Shigabum. We have Marvel in the house. We have Shigabum in the house. We have where that name. Just Dash the Cat in the house. Jenny B's in the house. Bridget's in the house. Okay, let me see if please get that out, dude. Look. If you're trying to get on my nerves, Section 8, you are. But stop it, please.
Felt appreciated. When was the last time you didn't feel taken for granted? See, I've talked about this at length. I've talked about this ad nauseum. The most ridiculous.
Look at this. Look at this. Is this some stupid? Okay, first of all, it's like this. He's talking about not being appreciated after his family doesn't appreciate him because he's a loser. That's why his kids left him. I mean, literally, when you have your boys leaving you, not girls, but boys leaving you, not wanting to live with you anymore, there's something wrong with you, bro. There is something wrong with you. In the house, Creative Solutions. In the house, Miss RV. In the house, Brina West. In the house, Shigabum. Melanated Vessel is in the house as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This must be his content because you're now over that part. Like you're over the divorce. The kids are older. So I'm pretty sure you don't have to pay child support anymore and all that stuff. Wouldn't you be free and happy?
Was he even married to her? Was he even married?
No, he wasn't. He knocked her up 3 times, lived off of her Section 8, left her, and then I believe later on he got married to somebody else.
This thing about the world we live in today is for all the leaps and bounds that men have made, for all of the technological advancements that women enjoy, women and children.
And you too.
Wait, this is sped up.
I sped it up.
What did he say? I don't even know what he said. I gotta pay attention because he just so boring that I can't keep up. I'm gonna put myself on mute for a minute.
Just sit back and think about how the society treats.
What did you invent? What? And did you invent laying up in somebody else's room after making a woman pregnant 3 times? What kind of leadership was that, dude?
You know, they use this, what he's getting ready to say, they use this as if they are not also enjoying the fruits of other men's labor. Like
Right.
they keep saying men build this and men are the ones that go out and do the hard work, when we know Black men are not the ones that going out and doing the hard work. The hardest thing that they work in are warehouses. So they're not going out here. I don't see a whole lot of Black men building roads and building bridges or building buildings. Like they're not doing construction work like Hispanic men and Caucasian men. So they can miss me with that. These dudes are laid back in menial jobs and complaining about women being able to enjoy the fruits of labors of other men just as they are. Make it make sense.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is this. He's using a very wrong argument right now, because it's not like Black men we are overly employed and working like we should be. And it's not like we're pumping out inventions double the amount that Black women are. You heard Rico, who was on here, and a lot of the copyrights, it's about equal between men and Black women coming out with inventions and shit. So here he is wearing somebody else's hat, somebody else's shirt, like he's some teenager.
Okay. Is made in China.
Right. Probably a fake chain. The cologne he got, I wonder, I guarantee you he didn't make it, you know? But here he is talking smack about Black women. Hey, you have a problem. If you have a problem, bro, that's fine. Try to solve it, but it ain't have nothing to do with Black women. If anything, he's a problem for Black women. I mean, again, 3-time this is a dude who made a woman pregnant 3 times without marrying her, laid up with her in her Section 8, and then has the nerve to talk about Black women. He should just keep his mouth. He needs to sit the hell down.
Think about all of the men that risk their lives climbing up on skyscrapers.
I've seen those men, and very few of them are African American.
And
unfortunately.
And the crazy part is they're not risking their lives climbing up. Well, this dude is acting like they're scaling skyscrapers, like they're scaling the building. Dude, they're in lifts. They're surrounded by construction, and they're in lifts when they go out and they're doing this building. Like those dudes are they do this on a regular basis. They're not scared punks like obviously you are, you know. So this is funny to me. He's like, they're risking their lives.
He's trying to take credit for stuff that he hasn't done.
Right. Like I mean, they're not gods. What is the King Kongs? They're not King Kongs climbing up, you know, scaling skyscrapers. Like, miss me with this.
Never knowing if today is going to be the day that they fall and plummet to their death. Just to build that high-rise skyscraper that eventually...
Okay, so how many of your friends did that? That's what I'm asking you right now. It's like, how many of your buddies got up on those skyscrapers? Like what percentage of Black men get up on skyscrapers? That's what I want to know.
Will employ women who will sit in air-conditioned offices on a cushy chair.
Along with them white men, along with other men.
I mean, this is the crazy part. If you're so jealous of women doing cushy jobs, get you one. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, what he's saying doesn't even make sense, DJ. Like, how many Black men are in IT? There's a lot of Black men in IT. This guy is pushing for his son to go into technology, which his son doesn't want to do.
Right.
So I'm just confused.
And being a person in IT, guess what we sit in?
And in a cushy
office, freaking cushy chair. Now it's not as cushy as, like, let's say, you know, a CEO or none, but it's still a cushy chair.
Marvel 18 said it's a lot of us in the military. True, I consider that pretty high risk at times, not at all times. Like sometimes when you have to deploy into combat zones, yes, but for the most part, it's not dangerous during, you know, certain periods. Not unless you're on a rapid rotation with deployment. And then it depends on where you're deploying and what your job is, because a lot of those guys aren't seeing frontline stuff. Most of them aren't seeing frontline stuff unless you're tankers, unless you're infantry. You're not seeing all that on the front line.
Exactly.
And probably get paid more money than the guy that was actually out there building the building in the first place. Think about all the guys that go out on those ships.
Okay, okay. So he's going through that kind of bullshit. I just, let me go to his next one.
You are now tuned into the realest show on YouTube with your host, the Angry Man.
What's good? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Valdez, aka the Angry Man, coming back at you yet again. And we got another.
I'm gonna go past that.
You are now tuned into the realest show on YouTube with your host, the Angry Man.
First off, let me give a shout out to everybody hit the Cash App early. Shout out to Shamar. Said, heard that Pastor Troy. I know AM is going to go in. You already know. Shout out to XL Pro Services. He said 300. You already know.
Spartans, what is your profession?
Shout out to Ricky. He said Valdez 2024, 2028, baby. Boom.
Wait, was he in the Army?
No.
So why is he wearing that shit like that?
He was in the Army of art school in college. I heard it's pretty dangerous with the sharp crayons and stuff.
I mean, this is what gets me. This, something, Camo, you just made me figure something out. You got a light bulb going on in my head right now. He likes to pretend he's people he's not. He's not a skyscraper. He's not a skyscraper guy. He wasn't on a boat. He's not in the military. But he's trying to take credit for them. And in addition to this, he hasn't done anything in his own life that has to do with any of that. He's a fraud. He's a freaking fraud.
Shout out to Diamond. Going on, Diamond. Shout out to Harold. Shout out to Ogun. You feel me? Shout out to Ogun coming through. Shout out to D. Douglas. He said the manosphere lame as fuck. Don't want smoke with AM. Yeah, bruh. We gonna talk about this shit. We gonna talk about this goofy ass shit. Why we gonna talk about it? We gonna talk about it because I gotta call it out. I gotta call it out for what it is.
Let's call you out.
Caveman.
Section 8. Section 8.
Right? See, a lot of y'all, and you know who you are. A lot of y'all was showing Kevin Samuels a lot of fake love.
Not me. I never liked him. Watch the show. Never liked him. Fake love. Godfather. Same dude. Went out there. His wife was making 3 times as much as him. Let's see what you're going to say, though.
He was bandwagon riding. The moment that man blew up.
Bandwagon on a bandwagon.
Because again, I told you when I was introduced to them, none of them like Kevin. So he's fake too. He didn't like Kevin either. Kevin wasn't part of the manosphere like that. Kevin wasn't even allowed in some of the pro-black spaces.
You want to get a piece of his fame. You feel me? You want to get next to him. You want to.
So did you. So do you.
He needs to get next to a dentist.
You wanted to scoot in close so that you could feel some of the warmth from that man shining. Mm-hmm. You can talk shit about me. You can say I hated on him. You can say I didn't like him. You can say I was beefing with him. You can say whatever you want to say about the angry man. But you know the one thing you can't say? You can't say, I tried to use that man after he blew up. You can't say, I tried to brown nose and
liar.
And scoot up under him to try to siphon off some of his fame. Can't say that.
He's lying. Yes. I remember when he was, going through a whole little breakdown because he felt like he deserved some type of attention from Kevin Samuels. And he was pretty much beefing with himself because at this point, Kevin Samuels became like, Kevin Samuels and wasn't responding to him. I remember that time. He's lying. So he can say that he didn't try to couch chase directly from him, I guess trying to be his friend. But as we all know on YouTube, content is content. and you get paid from it.
That is so true. Camo, isn't it weird that all of these manosphere leaders all have some shady past? Like they're either freeloaded off of somebody, were abusive, or they have a criminal record or something shady. And these and it's funny how they're drawing in a lot of these are supposed to be the leaders of the manosphere. If that's the leadership of the manosphere, then it's just sad. It's sad to see it. Let me keep this
I'm not
going.
surprised. Like, it doesn't amaze me because I see what kind of men they are, and if you can make up blatant lies about the women in your community because you having some type of disagreement, whether they don't like you or whatever the case may be, it's one thing to state your grievances, but it's another to promote these lies. So if you're willing to do that while also feeding it to young Black men and taking their money, it's nothing that I don't put past you. Like I see all of the grift.
Exactly. Well, let's get to where did I do it? Okay, here we go.
Bandits, Black women are going to have to take note. It's a stark difference. That getting attention from Black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
Let me slow down.
Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and go over a video that was sent to me, and this video is involving a woman on TikTok who we've already reviewed videos. She goes by the name of Chris Game Music 2. And I told you guys at the part of the Black male reckoning, the behaviors and mentalities of these bandits would become worldwide knowledge. Essentially, they've been wanting to go mainstream, and knowledge of their pathology is going mainstream.
All right, so all the fellas out there in the clouds, if you have any smoke, bring it down here. But a lot of what Cynthia G says, it's pure knowledge.
So DJ Torch, real quick before you start this. So I was, scrolling along YouTube, being nosy, minding my business, and I ended up going and seeing her on Phil's channel, right? And he used this same video, which I have heard her in this video multiple times from different content creators. I heard exactly what she said. Now he done took her and put only a part. Used the part where she was talking about white men being jealous of Black men penis. He didn't use any of the other things that she was saying, which the majority of the things that she was saying was against Black men. So if you look inside the comment section from this video, all you see is all these Black men like praising her, like, she right, and that's why we love Becky, whatever they said. But they don't even know that this man playing them, and she has all kinds of content talking directly about how trash they are.
Right.
This is why I'm talking about that grift thing with the manosphere, how they shady. Like, now for Phil to have got that one part, he has watched all the videos, but he know the white worship that they have for these women, and that by her saying that white men is jealous of their penis, allegedly. I've never heard that before, but I guess maybe that's a thing. She said it. He knows that's gonna sell, and he done snipped that one part and got a whole video with thousands of views on it. These
okay,
men
whose show? Phil,
yeah.
Phil,
the one that has like what is it, Africa Today, Africa Pan, what is it called? Somebody in the comment section put it in there. I just know him as Phil, but it's African News or something like that. Somebody put it in the comment section.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I've never, believe it or not, I've never heard of him. But let's see what she has to say right here.
as well as the fact that these women have learned and recognized in a very short time that every one of them is going to get the same black man, and also the pathology that is attached to getting the same black man. And that's why we've been seeing so many different videos of them coming out and exposing these bandits, literally telling you that they are getting the same black man. They may not say it in those terms verbatim, but the reality is they come out and tell you how they're being abused, they're being turned into single mothers. He's trying to bring his 3 trash bags over to her home, how he doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. We're literally seeing women of no color on video in real time kicking bandits and their 3 trash bags out of their home. And this is a stark difference from the past, when we used to see them sit up in videos and talk about how they're better for the black man, how it is black women's attitude that has chased him away, how she's hit the object of his desire, how she can treat him better. She doesn't hold him accountable. She doesn't have any standards, expectations, and boundaries. And now, since those tables have turned,
the tables turn. What goes around comes back around.
These women have realized that they don't have a prize, they essentially have a demon. And not only that, but many of them have also come out talking about the white supremacist pathology that they've recognized in these bandits as well. And why is that important? That's important because it validates literally everything that I've said, to the tune that I believe a lot of these women on TikTok, women of no color, have actually...
I have to stop it for a second. Why is it that all these dudes are underwhelming looking, but they talk shit about women for being average at best? I don't get it. Look at them.
They're called neckbeards in the gaming world, the neckbeards.
I mean, man.
Watched my channel and have learned that it doesn't talk about.
Let me go forward.
Every
to after party that you were not misogynistic. He was misogynistic.
Who are the mother of not only the bandits, but the pathology as well. Go ahead and take a look at these videos. I'll come back for further commentary.
You know, something that always baffles me is how black men are misogynistic and treat women and their women, but just women as a whole, the same way that white men do. And as we know, the patriarchy was originated by white supremacy and white men. Of course, it started during slavery, which is what I find ironic, because during slavery, well, black men, you were treated as less than human to these white men who are on these podcasts preaching this misogynistic ideologies that they invented. So basically, all these white men that are on these podcasts speaking for men and spreading this misogynistic ideologies, they see you as also less than human, black man. They see you just as marginalized and less than human, the same way they see women. So why the fuck are you trying to be at a party that you were not invited to? See, you feel because you are...
Exactly.
Man, you have some sort of privilege or power or sense of inclusion in this male supremacy patriarchy. Behind your back, these men are laughing at you and they don't respect you. No matter how much money you get, as we've seen by Kanye, you're still an N-word in a coupe, as he said, when it all falls down. You're still black.
Exactly. Melanated Vessel says this: Phil has a very long, interesting history in this space. He's a liar and a hypocrite. He lied for years about having a white wife while taking a black woman's coin. They're all like this. Why are they all like this? I mean, it's like you could take any black manosphere dude and they got some kind of dust or shade or scam or prison bid or some record or something that they're all shady. That's why that's why the Cynthia G theory is a theory. It works. Because you could literally, what if we, as a black man, I want to defend myself against maybe something Cynthia just said. It's about pathology and all that kind of stuff. These dudes gave me no ammo, none. In fact, they're the ones who convinced me more and more that Cynthia G is making sense. Because it's like every time I turn around, the dust comes out.
I don't understand why, a lot of the men agree with these things. They just don't like when she says it. But if another man says it, because so if you was to say like the manosphere, right? The manosphere talk about black men and black women. They just separate themselves and try to blame it all on the so-called Pookie and Ray Ray character or whatever. And Cynthia G says the exact same thing, but they don't separate it with her. They take it as if she's talking to all of them, and it's all of it. It's the the system against them, and she's working for the system. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me.
All right, couple quick shout outs. Big Cap is in the house. Henry Mars is in the house. You Can't Get Laid is in the house. Brianna West is in the house. Alexander Brandon is in the house. Marvel's in the house. Monica's in the house. We have Black Women Rise in the house. And this is why it's kind of unnerving, because it's as if we don't want to, if you don't like what Cynthia G is saying, guys, why don't you change your tune? Why don't you be a better person? Why don't you use the theory that Big Cap would use, is if it don't fly, what is it? If it don't apply, then let it fly, or whatever the hell that is. But it applies. Look at the men you follow. Look at all these freeloaders you follow. You follow Angry Man, freeloader. Kevin Samuels, freeloader. The Philip Scott Show, freeloader. How can you not call them bandits? And if you're following a bandit and you respect a bandit and you want to be a bandit, then what does it make you?
So Marvel said he can't deal with Cynthia because she said about the black baby situation, and she never said delete all black male children. She's never said that out her mouth. Now, once black men said that to you, and y'all continue to repeat it, but you will follow men who say, well, you could have deleted the baby, or he told you to get rid of the baby, and you the one that wanted to carry the baby, or you chose that, and you choose to have children. We choose to have these children. We all could have got rid of our children, but we chose to keep them. So the same men that you're talking about that's saying that we're choosing these children is also giving us the option to get rid of the children. You follow them, and you have the right to feel the way that you feel about certain things. I have the way that I feel about certain things, but I can use common sense and logic. That what she's saying is, if these men is telling you that they don't want these children, why do you keep having these children? And that's exactly what she said. And then to vilify her, because in reality, it's not really about her saying that about the children. In reality, a lot of men just don't like what she's saying. They don't like the fact that she's the one that's saying it. So it's a narrative being ran that she's like some person that said, get rid of all of the male black children of the world. And she's never said that, ever. But you will follow men that will say that. Men who have also said to throw women out with the bathwater and the children. Men who have said that we should be deleted and we don't deserve to be here. You will follow those people, and that's where the lack of respect comes in for me, because a lot of this is contradiction. A lot of you males follow men that say the worst things about black children and black women, but you upset with this woman for saying, since these men feel this way about you, don't have their children. It's many ways not to have children, and one of them is not to have sex at all. So like, I really don't understand the contradiction and the confusion. And if you can explain that to me, then maybe I will understand it, because I am an understanding person. But what I see to me is contradiction from these men, especially in specific black men who say that they care about black children, but you will also support men who do not support the women who are having black children. Like, I don't get it. I'm confused. Like, if anybody want to, come in and explain that, please, please do.
Yeah, I'll drop the link one more time just to give these fellas a chance. We got to give them their chance. Claudette says, I remember 5 years ago, Cyn used to take up for black men. Yes, she sure did. When she was talking about the police brutality, yep, and white supremacy, yep. But then she said black men was disrespecting her in her chats constantly. That's crazy. And that's just crazy. And they don't, and you see that black men, we don't care about police brutality. We really don't. Because we smoke. I mean, remember Colin Kaepernick? We left him out on an island. We left him out on an island. We don't even care about people who care about us. That's why it's like
sure did. They didn't want to stand with him or anything. And he didn't know what his purpose was or why he was doing what he was doing. He just made a move to do something, which is what people wanted someone to do. We don't care what you do, just do something. And he did it. And what was crazy was it was foreshadowing George Floyd's death because he took a knee. So, I mean, the dude lost his whole career. And so did he get any support? Nope.
So Marvel is saying that he's not talking about his children. This is not personal about you or my son, your children or my son. We're not talking about personal, and we're not talking about the men and women. I'm telling you, DJ Torch is telling you, Janelle can tell you that she's never said that, but you want to run with a narrative. That's the point. You're saying men and women told you. There's men and women here that can tell you that she never said that. You can actually go listen to yourself. But the honest truth is that you don't like her content and just say that. But that's that thing that I say that black men on YouTube do. They will lie on black women just to lie on them. She never said that. There's things that Cynthia say that that I may not agree with. Myself, but I'm not going to lie and vilify her and say that she said something that she did not say. And for the person that say that, she talks about black men online and she sleeps with black men offline, there's black men online sleeping with black women, some of them that's supposed to be divestors that are big divestors on this space. If we want to talk about it, some of them leaders that you're talking about is over there sleeping with them, and they're online bashing black women and saying how they hate black women. So stop with the bullshit.
Hey y'all.
Hey Maya.
Hey, can I say something?
Sure can. Go ahead.
With this loud
hey Maya.
Hey y'all. I had an experience with one of these guys last night, y'all. And I immediately recognized the drift. Dang, I want to say something. Give me a second. This guy I'm about to get my groceries. But my thing was just trying to debunk his arguments. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
If we going to have a real conversation, we got to have a real conversation. Right. It's just what it is. Like you can not feel comfortable being in a person, listen to a person content without spreading lies on that person.
Right.
But you know what, DJ, in terms of the Cynthia G concept, she has recently changed her concept. She believes that now women should enact selective breeding.
Right.
Instead of just abortion, because a lot of people are against abortion, especially black women. But she's saying that, and selective breeding is, I'm about to give you the definition right now.
Everybody should be doing so, and what's funny to me is that people are actually offended by it. And it goes back to what May has talked about, Siobhan has talked about. A lot of these guys should have died off a long time ago, but the mothers were sleeping with people that they shouldn't have been sleeping with. And selective breeding means that you're having children with people with high intellect. You're having children with people that will stay around. You're having children with people who have parents, who have more than one parent, people who have seen something in their lives, educated people. That's all selective breeding is. It doesn't have anything to do with it is discriminatory, but it should be. Just like the ebony.
Can I read the definition?
Just like Ebony, just a second. Just like Ebony K. Williams was saying, I'll only date the guy if he owns the bus. That's being selective. It's nothing. It's nothing derogatory at all. Go ahead. You can't get like.
Okay, so it's a selective definition of selective breeding. Selective breeding is a process by which humans control the breeding of organisms in order to exhibit or eliminate a particular characteristic. Period. Okay. Selective breeding uses artificial selection to direct the genetic transfer of desirable traits as opposed to natural selection. Selective breeding focuses on traits which will benefit humans. So that should be, isn't that like artificial insemination?
No,
not really. No.
Not at all.
No, but it bears out a similar result. What you're saying is that you're breeding with only people who have, let's say, genes that will give you a positive outcome. So what she meant, in my opinion, because I cannot tell you what she meant because only she can tell you what she meant, right? But my interpretation is this. Don't get with Pookie and Ray Ray for sure. Don't get with guys who have already had a shady past. Don't get with a guy whose father had a shady past. Don't get with dudes that have short tempers, or don't get with dudes that are going to put you through struggle love because they got there somehow. If a black man is struggling, we got there somehow. You see what I'm saying? There's enough. It's like this. America is discriminatory. America can be very racially bad. Let's put it that way. But at the same time, there's enough that if you put out enough effort, that you will not have to be in prison, or you don't have to have a low-end job if you just work hard enough with what God gave you. But if you're just gonna want to thug out in your early years and then later on try to act like, oh, okay, I'm ready for a wife now, that shit don't work. And that's the kind of shit that they kind of promote here in the manosphere. Is like, oh yeah, I can be a F up, and then I can turn around and then I should get a wife, and I don't care if she can be a lawyer, and I don't care if I'm just a bus driver. That's the problem. See, the thing is that's how I know that people weren't listening.
They got there somehow. If a black man is struggling,
okay, Claudia, I think Claudia, your mic might be a little bit too loud. But anyway, let me fix it like that so she's still on.
Can I say something after you, Torch?
Sure can. Okay, so this is the thing. It's crazy to me that if you thought logically at all, you would totally understand whether you agreed with her or not. You would totally understand where Cynthia G was coming from. Okay. Do I agree with everything she says? Not everything, but if theoretically she's on point. She's how about this? Let me make this analogy again. Let's say you knew that if you wanted to bring home a little puppy, right? You bring home a little puppy, and it's a Rottweiler puppy. Now, if you thought that Rottweiler puppy was going to grow up and maul you to death, would you have brought that Rottweiler puppy into your home? No, that's what she's saying. So the best thing to do is, if you don't want any smoke from Cynthia G, don't be a highlight. Don't go out there doing bandit type of shit. Don't be out there dogging black women, any women for that matter.
DJ, when the guy was going around on his Manosphere tour talking about how he had 7 baby mothers with all these different women, and he told all of them to get rid of their children, and he also got rid of hundreds of children before that. No one said anything about that. It didn't outrage them. They actually was like, well, he told them. That's what I'm talking about. He told them not to have them children. Them same men that go against what she said is the ones who's promoting that man. So that's why I don't listen to none of them. I respect everybody's decision and what they feel. I wouldn't socialize with any content creators where I don't like the people in the chat. I have no problem with people having their own ideology and believing in their own things, but you can't be a hypocrite. You can't say that she can't say something, that there are people who believe that are not pro-life, and that's their choice.
All right, Claudette, welcome to the stage. Go for
Hello,
it.
can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
I did ask to go next.
Hello?
No shade.
Wait. Is that you, Maya?
Can y'all hear me? Yeah, this
Okay,
is
let
Maya.
Maya
I was
speak.
like, this.
Okay.
Yeah, so last night I actually had to encounter one of these guys, and I said, dang, these podcasts are really, they like fleas right now. He had the microphone, the headset, everything on this app I go live on called Bigo. So he was with one of my homegirls, one of my Bigo friends, on her panel debunking what he was saying, talking about single mothers. It was one thing he said, we need to go back to shaming. But when I was throwing him subliminal insults about his drift, because I recognized it as soon as I saw it, he was like, we're doing subliminal digs. I said, fool, you said go back to shaming. We need to go back to shaming people when we see people being degenerates. So I'm shaming you by throwing shade. And my friend asked him, what if a woman was forced to be a single mother? And he was like, no woman is being forced. And he was so stupid, he didn't understand what she was saying. She was actually raped and had a son. And I said, what you are saying, sir, is very triggering, because very dangerous, because he was triggering her slowly, but she kept it cute. But you can tell those emotions got there. And there's one thing I said, I think it's funny how men say women are so emotional, but all y'all do all day is talk about and complain. That's big emotions. That's emotions. And y'all so stupid that you don't get it. And every time I asked him, okay, I feel you. So you as a man, what are you and the men going to do about this? Don't bring women into your argument. Don't call on us. What you're saying, I'm going to talk to my sister homegirls about what you're saying. But what are you as a man going to do? The first thing is, well, the women should. No, bitch nigga. What are you going to do as a man? And then I also brought up, so are you going to go to the Manosphere meetup that's in September in Atlanta? Are you going to go there? I highly doubt that you're going to go. It's in Atlanta and it's in September. And if you want to go, I might hit up my man DDS, who would love for you to come on down, because they need help. All you want to do is sit and talk, but you're not going to take action. You want us to go back to Black Wall Street? Build it. Don't put us in any of it, because the women will follow. Women follow truly.
Hello?
Will follow who?
Okay, I think she dropped out.
A woman will follow.
Maya, you there? Okay, I guess Maya might have dropped off until she comes back. Claudia, go ahead and tell us what's on your mind.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
In your life, so the easiest target
Wait,
is
there
the
she is.
women.
You guys can hear me?
Somebody is talking right now.
Wait, she just came back.
Okay.
Maya, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Maya.
Sorry, someone called me. I'm driving. Can you hear me?
No, we can now.
Where I left off and what I was saying, but what I was saying is, stop bringing, the reason why you bring women and you bash women or you complain about Black women is because you're really upset about how the patriarchy played for you as a Black man, and the easiest target is your women. Because you ain't about to build Black Wall Street. You ain't about to build no businesses. You complain about women having abortions, but you're not about to adopt a son or be a foster father. You're not about to go to the Manosphere meetup and connect with other Black men to network and build and actually do something instead of sitting and talking about it like a bunch of bitches. And that's your emotions. They ain't about to do none of that. When you do that, that will shut Black women up. We won't have nothing to say because you're out there doing it.
Exactly. All right.
It really pissed me off. He was so stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, you guys.
Okay. So, like to kick out a few shout outs and then I'm going to let Claudette talk for a second. Here we go. So we got TK in the house. We have Black Women Rise in the house. Siobhan's in the house. Miss RV's in the house. Matt Newland is in the house. We have Bridget in the house. We had, I think Tam was here earlier. So I'll say Tam was in the house. We have Jenny B in the house. And let's see who we have down here. Vonda's still in the house. Appreciated that you're still here. Marvel's in the house. Just Char is in the house. Thank you. Still here. Melanated Vessel in the house. Melanated Vessel says this. They'll just move the goalposts. It's always disingenuous conversation with these dudes in this space. There's only a few level-headed ones, in my opinion. Yeah, really. Okay, Claudette.
Yes, sir.
Feel free. Break it down for us.
Okay, listen, man. Oh, Lord, I've been wanting to get up here for the longest. First of all, thank you for having me on this platform. You guys are so intelligent. I love all of y'all talking points. It's just, it's very level-headed. Now, Lord, I don't even know where to begin because this is so pressing. I've looked at so many videos of these men talking down on Black women. I want to know something. What is their real reason? Because, see, is it that you have mommy issues, or is it that you had a bad experience dealing with a Black woman? You know, whatever the case may be, but you dealt with Black women. You had a relationship, maybe marriage, you got a divorce, whatever the case may be, and you making blanketed statements saying that Black women is all you gotta do is one time. Oh, she twerking. See, that's what all Black women do. See what I'm saying? But then a few of your videos, it was a guy that, of course, he disagrees with you. I forgot the name that person was, but he was like, "Well, you know, not all Black men, but it's easy for them to say not all Black men, but then y'all say just Black women." Here it is. We got bigger fish to fry. This world is collapsing. Okay. No Black man is not prepared for anything. Nothing. All they can talk about is Black women this, Black women that. Wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm sorry, something's popped up on my phone. Anyhow, Black woman is Black woman that, Black woman, Black woman that. Listen, the problem is you. That's the problem. Like Michael Jackson said, man in the mirror, look at yourself. What part do you play in? You know, we all, Black women and Black men, raised up in messed up circumstances throughout our lifetime, okay? The only reason why you have people like Cynthia G and Pink Pill and all of them, and you guys up here, is because, and I'm talking about Black women, is because we're only responding to the disrespect, okay? That's why they don't like the fact that we're speaking out. You know, we're supposed to be submissive to the point we can be quiet and let them just talk down on us. I have a 15-year-old son by the name Omar. He was unalive in the year 2020. He was 15, guys. By a 26-year-old man. Okay. It wasn't no Black woman that did it. It wasn't no cop. It was a Black man. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, get me a minute. All right. And they sit here and listen to these dudes, Angry Man, Fresh and Fit, and all them degenerate ass bastards. Pardon my French, y'all. It's depressing, y'all. What are you gaining from Black women need to do this, submissive, cooperative, and this and that. Y'all submit to, pardon my French, but y'all submit to a white man. You understand? You saying black women are masculine, but I know you guys see it all with these Karens out there spitting on black men and calling them N-words and don't let them into their property and call the cops because they barbecuing. Are these white women? What? I just don't get it. What is it? Why are they doing this? I want to know, why are they doing this, guys? Why?
That's a dang good question. In fact, you know something? I think we'll do a live on that. We'll ask them why.
I just want to know, and don't hand me that, well, because I was married. No, because you remember that white IG model that killed that Nigerian black dude?
I sure do.
Okay, why ain't they talking about that?
Right.
Oh, let me guess. Selective anger, right? We ain't gonna talk about it. Wait, and then they'll say stuff like to make the excuse. Well, I care about black women. It ain't about them. It's about the black. No. Y'all talk about these guys.
No, sis, you wanted to know the answer, right?
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
Let her finish, please. Go ahead.
No. I want to know the answer. Seriously.
The reason why they act like that is because a lot of them have suffered from self-hate that projects onto us as black women. Like, they don't like themselves. They don't like their blackness. They don't like their full lips and their full nose. They think their features are ugly and they want to breathe themselves out. That's one of the reasons. The other reasons is that they have been brainwashed into believing that white is superior and that white person's features is more superior than theirs. So they would do anything to obtain whiteness and
to get validation.
Yes, the part about them dumping on black women is I said before that it was like some type of fetish, like some type of sexual kink that they get off, like uplifting women of other cultures and putting down black women. They're so obsessed with women of non-color, and I think they get their rocks off doing that. But I could be wrong. DJ Torch is a man. Well, he might know more than me.
And you know something else, guys? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. And
you know something else, DJ Torch? Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. Not all black men are bad. You know why I say that? Because DJ Torch, you're a black man. That doesn't make me a man. It's because I said not all black men are bad. DJ Torch is a black man. Pencil Man's a black man. And there's other, guys that speak against the rhetoric of these degenerates called manosphere, okay? And I have black sons, and none of them don't act like that. You understand? But what I want these dudes to do is, look, not all black women is bad as well, but it's like it's hard for them to say that. I know there are some messed up people, black men and black women. We're not perfect. We live in an imperfect, demonic world. No one is perfect but God. We all make mistakes. We all have flaws. But see, their problem is they like to play the blame game, point the fingers of it's you, not taking accountability for their actions. So they project their actions and their disrespect on black women.
Yeah, that's
like it makes them weak. It makes them weak, but they have the audacity to talk about black women are masculine. What is the opposite of masculine? If us masculine, then what that makes you black men?
Feminine.
I've been asking that question for that is so confusing to me. If I was a man, I would be insulted that other men are calling women masculine when you are a man, when that is your role. I don't get it either. I've been asking that for a long time.
All right, y'all. That's all. I'll land.
Most of it is about money. They know that there's money in degrading and castigating black women. So a lot of these content creators do this just for money. And like you said, it's escapism as well, because it allows them not to take responsibility for their own actions. They're not being told by these people that they're wrong for creating single mother households. They're not told by these people that they're underemployed and that they should be doing more with their life. They're not being told by these people to get your credit score together. Work on yourself before you seek to be in any type of relationship. What they're being told is that you can have sex with everybody and anybody that moves. It's the woman's responsibility not to have the child by you. You bear no responsibility. So if you're a degenerate, you just keep going to places that tell you you're not wrong.
Wow.
Right.
Drop the mic on that.
Okay. I need to make a quick point. Wait, let me make a quick point and a quick announcement. First of all, shout out to Quita. Quita is in the house. Melanated Vessel is in the house. Raphael Jacobs is in the house. Jenny B is in the house. We have Black Women Rise in the house. As you can see, I have on the screen a man who praised and preached about deleting Black babies. And yes, he got mad because women were having his kids. He got angry. He got disgusted about them. And what's ironic is none of them were Black, but he was still making Black babies and he was still trying to delete them. You know something? I went back and looked at his chats and I looked in there and I saw very little anger about him doing it. In fact, some dudes were like, "Yeah, man, she should have listened to you. She shouldn't have had your kid, man." They were saying that kind of shit. So let's see. So you fellas out there who are mad at Cynthia G, I want you to see you tear this dude apart.
Wow.
Theoretically, of course.
They're not going to, because they would have to face themselves, and many of them are just like him.
And they always want to they always trying to compete. Like, you know, somebody is in the comment section saying passport pros are divestors. Divestors are not on CNN because they got kicked out of Brazil. That's one thing I can say about them. Divestors can be extreme. I don't agree with a lot of things that divestors say either. But one thing that they're not is on the news saying that you know, that Brazilians are better than Black men and all this other dumb stuff. They're not getting kicked out. They're not offing women in China and getting executed. They're not getting robbed in Colombia. They're not doing these things. But divestors don't have anything to do with your image. Those men do. That is a problem. We don't really have to deal with passport bros. We don't have to talk about them or anything, because in reality, Black women are out of that situation. That's between the women that they deal with internationally and the other Black men. That is your fight to fight. I don't have an issue with divestors because I don't deal with women, and they deal with men of other races, and that's their thing. So that's not a divestor should not be your problem. What I don't understand is that 80% of Black women are with you. The majority of Black women are, excuse my French, mammies. So why is it so hard for you to go support those women? You got Sister Soldier, what's her name? With the hijab on over there, Crimson Cure and all that. That can't stand Black women. Why don't y'all support Sister God? All of the majority of the internet is women who praise you as a king and delusional and willing to live in a fairy tale land with you, that you in Egypt and you still you built the Mayans and you did all these things. But the women who are not willing to do that, because we think that it's counterproductive for you to keep lying to you to make you feel better and keep you in the same place that you've been all these years. You are upset about that. You don't like it, and I don't understand it. Like you'll call all of us are not divestors. I don't consider myself a divestor. I probably live a lifestyle closer to what they live, but I don't believe in a lot of their ideology. But I do respect and I understand why they feel the way that they feel.
You know what? When they say divestors, right? They automatically think Black woman, white man. You could divest from anything. You could divest from the ignorant. You could divest from you know, blocks that's filled with drug dealers and there's many ways to divest. But see, in their degenerate, feeble mind, okay, they can only say divest. They want the zaddies. They want the zaddies. But there's no talk about Black men with white women. No talk about that at all. Nothing. Like it's is they slow? I just want to know what is going on with these men. What's really going on with you guys?
You nailed it with your divesting theory and comment. It's divesting from It's divesting from a lifestyle that is detrimental to your own well-being.
Boom.
That's, I mean,
Boom.
And if, I mean, this is there are good black men out there. The
Yes,
problem
sir.
is that the percentage of us that are good is too low to basically depend on us. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
It's
sir.
like you're looking at, like, let's say a soccer team who has 11 players. There's a couple good players on the team. Well, you're still going to lose a game. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that if these men, the manosphere was built on allowing a man not to grow, not to improve. Because if they were trying to improve and grow, they wouldn't be worried about what women were doing.
Exactly.
But they used the shame, blame, and explain theory, right, to try to lower a woman's expectations of what they should get from a man. That's why they were so incensed when Ebony said what she said, even though it's been about 2 weeks, and I've asked these men over and over again, give me an example of a rich black man dating and or marrying a female bus driver, and they ain't come at me yet.
They'll never ever answer.
Yep.
They'll never ever answer that.
No,
looking stupid.
Yeah.
And see, about that Ebony with the bus driver thing, right? You know, they made plethora of videos about that. Okay, I mean, they literally butthurt about that. Okay, because she's a black woman. Okay, I mean, I don't know where her nationality is. She look mixed. Whatever, it don't matter. Okay, it's the fact that she's a woman. But I bet you guys, if the shoe was on the other foot, right? They'll say, yeah, big them up. Yeah, anybody gonna marry no pig, drive no bus?
They do it all the time. They do it all the time. I mean, when they say a basketball player, there was some guy today, they were showing that he was with an attractive Caucasian woman, and they were loving it. They were eating it up. It was like, yeah, see, that's what you get when you get up, and they've been doing that for years. So it's like, it's funny how hypocritical they are and how ignorant they are. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Right. Confusion.
It is crazy, and it is confusion. DJ Torch, I know you heard the audio, but they gonna flip out when they'll really be in their feelings when they get reminded that Kevin Samuels didn't support but respected Cynthia G and a lot of other black female content creators. Before he died, he said that spoke about her and a few the top black women in this space. They'll be upset about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Facts. That's facts. That's facts.
That's crazy. Just like I heard the Passport Bros was saying, calling Dave Chappelle a passport bro, right? Now here it is. One of the reasons why they don't want to be in America is because of feminism. Now, and Dave Chappelle, they don't even pay attention to the people that they allow represent them. Dave Chappelle himself has called himself a feminist because he's out his mouth. What he said was the definition of feminism is women who want the same rights as everybody else. So that means I must be a feminist.
No,
right. Let me break it down. I
Googled the dictionary definition of a feminist just to make sure I was talking about the right thing. And do you know, sir, what the dictionary definition of a feminist is? I didn't either. Listen to this. Webster's defines a feminist as a human being, not a woman, a human being that believes in equal rights for women. I was shocked that that's what that meant. Because by that definition, I would consider myself a feminist. And I didn't even know that at the time.
The only thing that they heard when he said that was the fact that he said that if the man didn't want the child, he shouldn't be forced to pay for it. So that's the part that they're hanging on.
Hey, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Of course. I love to hear you, Alexander. How you doing?
Hi, Alexander.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi.
I was listening, and I'm just now getting off of work. I want to say that first, Claudia, uh, my condolences for what happened to your son. Um, it's it, and as someone who lost a family member, you know, it. I know it can. I know it can really be hard to, move forward. But,
It is.
But you can. But I'm. I realized when over the past few years that my grandpa wouldn't want me to live in sorrow. So, I decided that I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna do it for him. And also, when it comes to the manosphere itself, I'm now hearing, and here's the thing, why on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. And I also want to say that and when a black woman speaks out against the degeneracy of the black manosphere, how come she is the one that's getting called out, but not the men who are doing it? And it baffles my mind, and it makes me think, maybe maybe the majority of the black men who are listening to the manosphere want to be degenerates. They want to have the stereotypes about them be true, and they just don't care. They really don't. They really don't care. And the thing of it is, it affects black men like me. It affects black men like DJ Torch, because we're black men. And then when people, I don't know if this happened, but people get to thinking that black men are degenerates, and it's because of the black manosphere itself.
Right.
And the thing of it is black men, is the black men who are in those spaces, they are so ignorant that they can't even hear themselves talk.
Exactly.
And it's just crazy. And not only that, but now they're promoting, even when they're married, that they can cheat or have more wives. And they didn't even finish reading the book of Solomon and how his life ended up. That's how I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I think black men in the black manosphere's IQ is at a low percentage. And that's just me. But as a man, as a black man who knows that, because I actually read the Bible, and I know what happened to Solomon, and it was not good. As a black man who knows that cheating on your wife with another woman will also cause, and somehow that man brings back a disease, then that's going to affect the women. The woman, and then all of a sudden he's going to turn around and say, she has an STD and everything. And I'm like, okay, for real, but you cheated on your wife. You're the one that cheated on your wife. You're the one that created a baby with another woman. You're the one that didn't care. So at this point, I agree with black women when they say black women should expand their options. Because think about, and I agree with DJ Torch, the number of good black men is a small percentage. And the black manosphere and the men who listen to it actually proves that DJ Torch was actually right. It actually proves it. And then not only that, but you have black men supporting Pearl, saying that a man can cheat. What in the world is going on here? And the thing of it is, Pearl ain't even religious. They're following a...
Hello? All right.
Man, this is one of the main reasons why I can't take most black men seriously. The black men I take seriously is DJ Torch, Ken Billions, and a few others. So that's it. And the thing of it is that we gotta speak loud. We gotta have our voices heard. We gotta have our voices heard, because this is getting out of hand real fast and real quick. And one more thing, and that, I guess that's it. DJ Torch, as always, it's nice being up here talking with everybody, and I'll see you all next time. And R.I.P. to Tina Turner.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Rest in peace, Tina Turner. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Alexander, thank you so much for your kind words.
Can I say something real quick? And
Sure
I'm gonna drop off. So I'm doing my hair.
Yeah, actually, this is a perfect time for me to wind it down. Go ahead, Claudette.
Okay. One thing is another thing that really grinds my gears. Okay, is the word female. You know, when a black man call a woman female, that devalues her human nature. Like when you say a female, you think of that woman less than.
Right.
You understand? I don't like you'll never hear women or men calling a man males. It's always, well, this female. A female could be a dog, a cat, a bird, anything. Stop calling us females. And then not just that, and now it's 304s and the B word, and it's like it's so many names other than a child of God, like other than woman. You know, I don't understand that. Like it's like they didn't cast a spell on these black men. It's a pandemic of ignorance of these black men.
So
like
true.
what is going on? And I land.
Claudette, thank you so much.
Thank you, DJ Torch. Thank you, Jim. I love you guys.
Okay, you can't get laid. What are your thoughts? Okay, so I guess she's gone. Hey, Camo, let's go ahead and land this plane. I'll let you have the last words. What's on your mind? Talk to me. Camo, you there? Hello?
Did everybody leave?
Hey, this is perfect. Okay, so everybody, I'm gonna call it a night. I'd like to thank everybody on the panels. I'd like to thank Claudette, Camo, You Can't Get Laid, Siobhan, Melanated Vessel, Jenny. Let's get this party started with the music. Thank you, everybody. All right, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
Black Women Rise in the house.
Money work.
Madison Goldman, Jenny B,
El mundo quiere dinero.
Marvel, Cuento Fox,
Money work.
Melanated Vessel.
Se arregla con dinero.
All right, Cam. Just one second. You there, Camo?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let me pause it for a minute. Go ahead and break it down. Break it down for us, Camo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was all at the end. I got knocked off. I just wanted to say, I think that what's happening is, a lot of these men is making this content because, a lot of it is for money. I think a very few, of a small number actually live by and actually believe in the things that they say. And then you have the rest of them that is just want the attention, of Black women. And what's happening is these women are taking you serious. You need to understand that. So when you hear these content creators, these women content creators responding to you, the women that's in their chats actually follow these people. And this is a group thought for us, because a lot of this stuff is manifesting to us in real life. This is not just a joke for us. This is not just the internet. Even with the Passport Bros, with that stuff that went on, that's going on, is becoming national news. So this is no longer just the internet. So I want, Black men to keep that in mind when you saying these things and making this content. We take this very seriously. So if you're just joking because from what I see is that the response that you get, you don't understand why you're getting the response, because you don't think the content is serious. You think it's just the internet. So when you hear Cynthia G's and Paris Milan's and all the rest of them, and then you got divestors, it bothers you for some reason. And I think the reason is that you're not serious about what you're saying, but these women are serious. So make sure that you, I guess the words would be, keep that same energy when you hear these women speak, because it's a response to what you're saying. But the difference is these women actually is changing their lifestyles and the way that they live and the men that they date. And as you see in Ebony's and all these other people, that's why when you hear these things, your reaction is shocking, because it's new to you. You've never heard Black women speak like that. That's all I gotta say. Good night. Good night to everybody. I'm sorry. To the lady who lost her son, my heart goes out to you. I got a son, and I never will ever want to go through that. And anybody else that lost someone, and of course, rest in peace to the Queen, Tina Turner. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, Camo. Claudette, yeah, you have my condolences as well. Though it might have been a time ago, you still do. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for a great show. You made the show, not me. Thank you. Let's do this.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el putín entero. Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes la verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Y somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. Yo vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Que de corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
Everybody, have a good night.